You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show, and if you're just tuning in, it's time for our online and print review, also known as the newspaper review. And I have my co-host here with me in the persons of Mr. Peter Nsia and Miss Miriam Abnadidi. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, Yaira.
How are we doing? We've entered the month of September, so I'm sure you're all feeling good. It's the top month of the year.
Today, I would like to start with Psalm 34, verse 1. I'll bless the Lord at all times. In fact, I'm super excited, and I would like to seize this opportunity to wish our General Manager a happy belated birthday. And I pray that the Almighty God increases him in all aspects of life. And I mean, before you come to ask us what is transpiring, a lot has taken place,
yes,
right
and
after
before
the
you even
election
come
and all that.
to that, let me also say something to our general manager. We are wishing him a happy belated birthday. And yesterday, I happened to pass by his office to see what is happening over there, and it was amazing to see, you know, the surprise party that was organized for him. I don't know if our MCRL can display that for us. It was an amazing moment, you know, for our general manager, and we are happy. We are happy that he celebrated his birthday.
Right.
God richly bless him.
So it seems the celebrations will be during the lifestyle segment. Yes.
Oh, okay,
so
okay, sure.
maybe it will join in the birthday segment.
But that's your birthday mate, yeah, right?
It's my junior brother. Yeah, say happy birthday to you, Mr. Sifas Dusu. We are most grateful for your insightful teachings and leadership, and we hope that this new year brings you all the amazing things you wish for yourself and your family, and yes, have an amazing year. So, what's trending?
I mean, I would like Mimi to go first.
Okay, sure. Of course, Yaira mentioned Fetu Afashe in her intro, and I must say that it is happening over this weekend in Cape Coast, and we are happy that Pimpamsi Hotel will also be collaborating, you know, with the organizers of the festival to organize their Pimpamsi Hotel Beer Festival 2025. It is an amazing event. I wouldn't want to talk much about it because we'll be crossing over to speaking to a rep from the hotel who will be giving us all the details, you know, every single thing that has to do with the celebration. We'll get to know that. And yesterday, I saw something in the news, a press statement from the National Tenants Association, and they said they were trying their supports, you know, to a group called National Coalition of Youth Against High Rents in Ghana, and they are campaigning against the skyrocketing, you know, prices of rents in Ghana, and they are saying hashtag rent must go down or rent must be reduced. And that is the campaign they are embarking on. And I was happy when I saw this from the National Tenants Association, you know, showing their support towards this campaign, because for far too long, many of us, especially the young ones, have been experiencing high, you know, prices when it comes to rent. You know, someone completes national service, the person who wants to start life, and then the person has to pay 2 years advance of, let's say, a 500 Ghana cedis monthly, you know, rent. So multiply that by 24, and that's like a huge sum of money that can even start a business or something. Where is this young person going to get the money from? Some are even demanding more than 2 years. Some are also demanding upfront, you know, commitment. You pay something before you get to even view the place. These are all things that I think government should, you know, do something about. And so I was happy when I saw this press statement.
And you know, you've even gone a little ahead. There are some national service personnel who, when they are, you know, the postings are nationwide. So you could be coming from one region to the other. And if, I don't want to use unfortunately, but if one way or another, you're from another region where maybe the standard of living is much lower and you're posted to Accra, you will have no family or friends, you may have to come and rent a place here in Accra. And even as a national service personnel, this is someone who's just fresh out of university. You have no means of income unless your parents supporting you, and you have to come and rent a place. Then also, there are so many factors that contribute to this rent issue. Some people are saying that some of the neighborhoods are, top. There are categories to these neighborhoods. So you may get a basic, unit, and it's going for such an exorbitant price because it is in a very special location. And then the ones that are not in the so special locations, the access to maybe the roads or access to basic amenities is also a problem. So it becomes an opportunity cost. Now, either you get one of these good places that you're going to pay an exorbitant fee for and get access to everything you need, which would probably cost you your groceries. You may not get to eat. You'll be doing binary code 010 or something. All of this is very, stressful for a lot of the youth. Then comes the fact that I think in our laws, the highest you're supposed to pay is about 6 months. Yes. Yeah. But now, Ghanaians or people, human behavior,
That's true.
and police cannot come and catch me, all of those things. So I think all of these things need to be
and one interesting thing about this whole renting thing is they always say that, they increase their prices by years.
Yeah.
And so if the price of cement are increasing, then I also have to increase, my rent.
Yes, you're not even using the cement for anything on the house. There's no renovations. There's no upgrade to the unit, and it's so stressful. Like, why?
So my attention has been drawn to some key government actions that have taken place over the years. I'll just like to touch on them so that it doesn't look like government is not doing anything about it. So the first one says digitizing the rent control department. So the rent control department has launched a digital platform that allows tenants and landlords to register properties, file complaints, and resolve disputes. That is one thing that the government has also done. We also have the National Rental Assistance Scheme. This I heard or saw on TikTok, which assists people in paying their rent, or you are being given the place and then you pay in installments or you pay later when you get the money. And research is saying that it has been very effective. They are also saying affordable housing development is also ongoing. The ministry is working to tackle Ghana's housing deficit, estimated at around 1.8 million units, with a multi-pronged approach. Now, this affordable housing development also raised concerns as to, can people really afford these affordable houses?
There's an issue there, aside the affordability, the location, and then the already existing affordable housing. Most of it has become, I don't want to use the word, the informal way that people call cocaine. It is so difficult to get access to maybe a government bungalow, a government unit, because during my parents' time, it was much easier. But now you hear about the SNIT flats and you go and make inquiries, they are for sale. And the price it is for sale, it's been put up for sale. You might as well use that money to start your chamber and hall.
Peter has something to say.
I mean, it's very, it's a very pertinent issue, and I like the fact that this association is coming up. I mean, it is the concern of, 90% of Ghanaians. Putting even that one aside, you spoke about the locations and the price difference. Even in the same area, the prices differ from one landlord to another. So it's a serious issue. And talking about the affordable housing and all that, when you look at like the previous years, now the population has increased. And so the kind of privilege the people in the 90s actually, or the early 2000s enjoyed kind of cannot happen this day because of the population increment. And so going forward, I think these are good initiatives that would actually help to solve this kind of issue in the country, because renting has become a major issue in this country. Now, you spoke about national service and all that. One may argue that you should actually serve in the region you completed school, but then you have to explore.
Yes,
maybe
you also have to go and learn something.
You want to go to a different region to actually learn a whole lot from there. And
that's
so
like
this is a very good.
She schooled in the northern region and
she's here in Accra.
Yeah, I schooled in Accra. I wanted to go out. Somebody said I'm wicked. So asked her. She stay with her. She knows herself. Right. So I think I agree with what you're saying. But then, I also mentioned the fact that the location plays a key role. Yeah. Now, over the past weekend, just this weekend, I had to attend a family funeral. And using the stretch, I think towards, is it Adan, that stretch towards the Volta region, there's an affordable housing scheme that had been started and seemingly been abandoned. And where the location, because sitting in that Dowenya traffic to come home, so at this point, what time will you wake up? Let's say you're working here at Clock TV. You live affordable housing. You probably have to wake up around 2 a.m.
2 a.m., yeah.
to come to work. Now, when will you close and go back home? So that becomes an issue. Yeah. And then I was thinking that there's such a vast stretch of land there. What if, let's say, the government starts to put up, these agencies, subdivisions of the agencies, so that if, let's say, Club TV can have another branch there, then, we can also be working there. So now it is easier on the person, and then efficiency is also improved. Yeah. And then you mentioned that they are going to digitize the rent control and things. I was thinking about it this morning when I was also reading through that. Why not list everything up? And then the government would give, let's say, a flat rate now, and then maybe there should be certain qualifications that your unit meets. Yeah. Now, obviously, a cemented floor and a tiled floor are not worth the same, but let's say it's a basic 2-bedroom unit. There should be a flat rate of, let's say, 1,000 cedis. If there's something like that, right? Now, if there are, let's say, a few specs you put there, let's say your roof is Formica, somebody's roof is POP. These are going to add a few more prices to it. So let's say, if the government can put, let's say, all of those things into a sort of division right now. So let's say based on what it is, you have your tiled floor or something, and then the POP and maybe an AC unit put there. Now, the 1,000 cedis can probably go 1,002. Now, if you have, let's say, sliding windows, all of those things, because all these things are cost. Now, somebody using just louver blades and a net, now safety is a problem because even in the universities, they cut and then they steal your things. So if, let's say, this is the flat rate and your unit is a little substandard, then maybe you have to go to 800 cedis. But then it will help everybody because you get, like you said, even it's based on landlord. So you could be in the same neighborhood, same 2-bedroom unit. Somebody's selling it for is renting it for about 2,500. Another person is renting theirs for about 800 cedis. And you have to probably sacrifice your safety or something really important to you for lower rent, which is not.
I mean, so this is very important, but then the need also comes to play, like I said earlier. Now the population, I think it only takes place here in Accra because the population here is, too much. Yeah. And so, like what you said, putting it in that way is going to help, but it boils down to the behavior, the attitude of Ghanaians as a whole. And so you are there in need of the thing. So let's say there is a law that says that, like what you described, a tiled floor it's going for this amount. But because you need it at a point, whatever the landlord says, that's the amount you're going to pay. Because a lot of people move from, excuse my word, the villages, all of them wants to come to Accra to
rural areas.
You understand? And so there's pressure here. And that's the reason why I think some of these landlords are taking advantage, because a landlord these days can tell you, if you are not interested, go.
Yeah, Somebody will come.
Someone will come.
The so-called agents. I mean, I don't know who
viewing
created,
fees.
They even influence the prices. They even suggest to the landlord, oh, this building there, I think you should charge more because it's, hot cake. And then the landlord will also charge. Yeah. There are some landlords that will not even take you if you don't come with an agent. And it's so serious.
And, there's this other thing I was also going to touch on, the fact that, comparing this to public transport. Now, the churches we have, they are all private businesses. Yeah. But some way, somehow, there is a regulated price they charge for. Yeah. So I think that this is possible where landlords, landladies, caretakers and whatnot can also be regulated in how much, they take as rent. And when they increase, if you are increasing rent, what is the reason? Because if you're in the tenant is in the unit, the person is paying their own bills. If you want to do renovations, then that, warrants an increment. And if maybe, yes, dollar depreciation, appreciation, whatnot, but that does not warrant an exorbitant increase, about like 100% increase, which is, it's going to affect the person because every year you're accumulating money into paying rent at the end of the year. Then, you know, from what I remember, even about the government bungalows and things, what I remember was that when you get one, when you apply for one, your rent is taken at source every month. So you don't have to worry so much about the end of the year. Before your salary enters your account. So once you know the percentage of your salary that's being taken into rent, you know, okay, but you budget along with that, you don't have to worry. And that eases some of the pressure on the youth because we are hearing of so many illnesses. We are, you know, and these are all parts. And we are supposed to now be having children, the next generation. How? When?
Where are we going to get the money from? For me, I think rent, you know, should be priced monthly, like what is done in the Western world.
Or even every 3 months or something.
3 months, just pay your rent, and if you can't, you move out. 2 years is too much. It's too much.
Now, let's take the press statement from the National Tenants Union of Ghana. So this press release was made on the 2nd of September, 2025. That was on Tuesday. Now, it says, Statement of Solidarity and Commitment. The National Tenants Union of Ghana, NATUG, stands in unwavering solidarity with the National Coalition of Youth Against High Rent in Ghana. Hashtag rent must be reduced. We commend the courage and clarity of purpose with which the youth have risen to confront one of the most pressing injustices of our time, unaffordable housing and exploitative rental practices. As the foremost advocates for tenants' rights and housing justice in the Fourth Republic, NATUG assures the coalition of our full support and readiness to collaborate. Together, we will amplify the voices of millions of Ghanaians and demand bold, transformative housing reforms from the Jubilee House and the Parliament of Ghana. This is not just a moment, it is a movement, and we are committed to making it the most consequential housing campaign in our nation's democratic history. Let us unite, mobilize, and make history. Thank you. So this is by Randolph Ifrifa Oware, the Director, Communications and Corporate Affairs. And also, we have Frederick Opoku, the Secretary General. And yes, this is to all of us. And I mean, like you said, we are commending them. And we will also rally behind them and do our best. Yeah.
Our salaries are at stake.
Yes, salaries are at stake. Not even to talk about groceries.
We are paying school fees.
You know, considering the fact that we're going to be learning about insurance, later on the show, how will I pay, you know,
when I don't have a place to sleep?
Oh, goodness. It is well. So, what else is trending? I mean, rent has taken a lot of our time, though. But
take us away.
Yeah, so, I mean, after the Akwatia by-election, there's a lot trending. And on Tuesday, we gave analysis about the history of by-elections and all that. And so I'll just give, because of time, a brief overview of the elections. And then we know that the NDC's candidate, Bernard Badu, emerged as the winner. And so I'm going to compare the 2024 and then the 2025 elections, the total number of votes. And so in 2024, the NDC candidate pulled a total number of 17,206 votes. And then the MPP pulled 19,269 votes. And that's why Endes Kumi, the late Endes Kumi, won. And then in 2025, the story is different. And now we've been saying that history has a way of repeating itself. This time around, history didn't repeat itself. Because, like we stated on Tuesday, anytime an MP passes away, a sitting MP passes away, whoever replaces the MP also wins the election. But this time around, it was unfortunate that Asumadu lost to the NDC's, candidate. And so this time around, history didn't repeat itself. So like I was explaining, in 2024, the NDC had 17,206, and then the MPP had 19,269. And then the total valid vote cast was about 36,000. And then just the ended election 2025, the NDC had 18,199 and the NPP had 15,235. So the period is between like 9 months, from December to September, roughly 8-9 months. And the difference will shock you. So the total valid vote cast in 2024 was over 36,000. And then in 2025 was over 33,000. And so when you look at the margin, the people who didn't turn up for this year's election is about 3,000. Now, when you do the calculation, the gap, the NDC votes increased by about 1,000 because last 2024, the NDC had 17,206, and 2025, the NDC had 18,199. And so there's been an increase about 1,000. And then the NDC 2024 had 19,269 and 15,235. And so you see that there's been a decrease by 4,000. And then looking at the total vote cast between the 2024 and then the 2025, there's a margin over 3,000. So the question is that now when you take the 4,000, which is the decrease in the number of the MPP's vote, and then the 1,000, the increase in the number of the NDC's vote, and the margin, that is the 3,000. Is it that the 3,000, that is the 4,000 decrease in the MPP's votes, the 1,000, decided to vote for NDC, or you see the thing? So there has been a decrease by 1,000, and NDC, there's been an increase by, over 2,000, right? So now we say that the margin is 3,000. So it means that there was a deficit of 1,000 people who didn't show up. Is it that those 1,000 people voted for the NDC or what?
So they don't want to be involved in any election violence.
Even contemplating whether they were going to vote in terms of sympathy or development.
Yeah.
But it looks like this time around, people are not doing sympathy votes again because they are looking for development, tangible things that can bring, developments to their constituency. And so obviously, if your party is in power and then we need someone to represent us, in parliament, obviously we'll vote for
someone who can do something for us.
It was just an obvious win for the NDC.
I'm very interested in I don't remember his name, but the member of parliament who said if
he's going to
he came to apologize.
Yes, he came and I mean we saw it coming. Yes, making all these statements that very, very well that if it was to happen, you won't be able to push through.
And he's not the first person doing that in that party. I think it is high time they sat down and look at their loopholes, what they are not doing right, because they are overconfident. Like they believe in their supporters that they will always show up, but this time things are not going that way.
And you also need to be realistic. Give yourself a reality check, because your fellow candidates did not win. You're going to decide you're going to quit your job. Do you not have responsibilities even to your own constituency that you represent because of a colleague? These things. I think now maybe Ghanaians, when we listen to these things, we think about it.
He wants
to play. So the MP we are talking about is the MP for New Japan. His name is Michael Ochirbefi. Yes.
So now, what will the people of New Japan even feel? That they are putting our lives at stake because of you. Anyway,
like Mimi rightly said, this is not the first time, and then it is high time you look into matters like this, because the integrity of as a member of parliament is at stake. As we said about the nurses, as a member of parliament, a lot of people are looking up to you. And then it's high time they considered some of the things they say during election periods like this. And I think the parliament should also get some standing orders to guide some statements this. Because it is they don't.
I'll just have to go through the standing orders again.
Come and apologize, and that is all. Some of the comments they make.
Someone even said we should ban him, ban him.
And they'll finish the comment and say, "Oh, emotions were heightened."
You went to sleep at night and then you.
And then the negative effect is this: that a lot of the youth are looking up to this member of parliament. They want to become like them. So some of the things they say, they tend to take them serious.
Yes,
and then you say some of these things, and then during the elections, you'll be at your home, and then somebody who wants to, become like you, looking up to you, following the words you say, will be at the grounds and tend to misbehave and then find himself in trouble.
Well, our youth also owe themselves some spirit of discernment. Like I just asked, because of your colleague, you're going to quit your job. What about your responsibilities to your family? And these are things we need to wake up about. And I think Ghanaians are waking up, so we can commend them for that. We have a comment. It's about the rent issue. And James A. Bernard says, rent problems are a nightmare. I reached out to pay my rent on time, but my landlord hit me with 100% increase.
Wow.
To add insult to injury, I've been the one investing in renovations without any help from her.
Why would you invest in renovation? Okay, well,
you want to be comfortable, don't you?
Then go and look for a place that is already put up.
And that place may be way more expensive.
4 times there.
You know what some landlords are doing now? They put the unit half-shaped, so that when you come in, you complete it, and then they tell you that, oh, a family member is coming, so vacate the place.
But it's high time, these landlords come to agree that the profit they want to generate out of whatever mansion they put across, it's a long-term one, not a short-term one.
This is a long-term investment, yes.
Yeah.
You don't expect to...
Whatever you do, somebody will rent. Even if you are putting it up for just 200 cedis, you're going to accumulate an amount of money regardless.
It takes years before, when you use quality materials, and that reminds me of what
and that gives you even longevity.
Exactly. John Dramani Mahama said when he visited in Sewam, he said he cautioned them to use quality materials. We don't want a situation whereby 2-3 years everything
the potholes start appearing.
Waste of money.
Right. It is well.
It is well, Ira.
So do you have your newspapers also, or there are more trending stories?
Yeah, I mean, I have one trending, but it's more of the legal front. A lot has been happening about the removal of now he's a former Chief Justice. Now, she has actually filed another case, that's a judgmental one. Apart from, you all know that she was actually asking for a $10 million, damage for whatever thing. But there's another development with this one. I don't want to go into it, but I just want viewers to know that, I mean, there has been another development. That, she sent a case to ECOWAS about her removal, saying that it is unconstitutional and all that. And then the AG office, the Attorney General's office, which is representing Ghana, also did not, filed, sort of defend the case leveled against. So I want to take us through briefly.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So the default judgment is basically a court ruling made in favor of one party when the opposing party fails to respond or appear in court. Like I rightly said, the Chief Justice took the issue to ECOWAS to actually say that the process of removing her is unconstitutional and all that. And so with that, the law says that the AG or Ghana has like a period of 30 days to respond. And now that 30 days has elapsed. And that is the reason why the former Chief Justice has taken upon herself to also go back to ECOWAS again. And so the issue right now is from the Deputy Attorney General. He says that ECOWAS does not have the jurisdiction to, oversee matters like this. And so when she went there, ECOWAS had actually heard from the two parties and has adjourned, indefinitely. And so they are saying that before ECOWAS proved to them that they has the jurisdiction, the right to oversee issues like that, they are not going to file any form of, this thing to defend it. And so we are looking forward to what actually, unfolds as time goes on.
I was actually expecting, jurisdiction to come into this. When we talk about, where the thing happened. The issue happened in Ghana, yet you took it out of Ghana. So it means you don't even regard.
She could get.
I get it, but you don't even regard our judicial system here. She thinks maybe it is flawed or something.
I think I even saw something concerning, is it the Commonwealth, asking or demanding that she be reinstated immediately. And then there were comments on the fact that, look, Ghana is a sovereign state. An international body can only come and make suggestions, but you cannot come and impose anything us. But that being said, we wait to hear more about the developments that would arise as well. So do you have newspapers, digitalized newspapers?
Sure, we do.
All right. Okay. So let's go quickly into that. Then we go into the online stories. One of them was on my hat. All right. So who's first?
So I have with me Daily Graphic, and on the front page, analysts loud order at Akwetia by election. So we spoke about it. Some of us I don't still understand the reason why that number of police personnel should be deployed to that place because of one election.
That. Don't worry.
And then we have President demands firm 2026 deadline for Ofankor in Sewam Road. Yesterday, the president visited them, and so he was promised that it is going to be finished or completed in 2026, June 2026. And then we have thieves vandalize Obichebi interchange. This story, I mean, when I saw it, can I use the word mad? I mean, how on earth?
Somebody will tell you it's hunger. They are going to sell this.
How much are you going to get from this one?
Street lights and everything. No winner.
I mean, that is so Mimi. I don't want to.
Let's do some showbiz stories. And on the front page, we have fame is spiritual. Fortify yourself. Prophet Boahin warns celebs. And we also have Christabel is Miss Tourism Ghana 2025. Frankie 5 finds new love on Max TV. Dancing, smiling through tears at Lumba's 1 week celebration. Let me just briefly touch on Lumba's 1 week celebration. It was I don't even know how to say it.
Massive.
It was massive. But when it comes to the kind of people, you could see a whole sort of people. I don't know how Lumba is being seen, but I don't want to say profane stuff, but there was so many young
supporters. I mean, they came to express themselves.
Well, it wasn't something I was pleased with when it comes to that. Now, with the story of fame and spiritual, fortify yourselves, I think this is an interesting perspective from this man of God, because when it comes to celebrity life, it is beyond the physical, like
life
visibility.
In general is beyond the physical.
You get it? People are paying attention to everything you do. You don't even have your privacy. You don't have your life. So this is the time where you ground yourself, through prayers, the word of God. That is, if you're a Christian. If you're a Muslim, you also pray. Traditionalists, you do whatever you do and make sure that you are firm when it comes to spiritual aspects, because people are paying attention to everything you do, and they can either make you or, unmake you. And the kind of things people will be saying about you, we've been here where celebrities have been confirmed dead, but they are not even dead. Few months later, you realize that they died. Do you get it? These are all spiritual things. And if you're a celebrity out there, it's not just about the numbers, but you need to pay attention to your spiritual growth as well.
Yeah, and that's being said to your own conduct, your behavior towards people around you, your fans, also plays an important role, because people like or love you based on whatever they see. And if you come off a certain way and they decide they hate you, then, things like this come up where a lot of negativity is directed towards you. And yes, it will affect your life one way or another. But in general, as human beings, you need to be grounded, as Miriam said. You need to fortify yourself. I'm not saying go and find spiritual amulets and tie around your waist. Okay, well, that's based on whatever religion. But in the end, life is spiritual. So let's take care of ourselves the best we can. So that's all with the newspapers, right?
Yeah.
Now, to the online stories. This one says, politicians care more about election than Galamsey fight. And this is by Kosi Dede. Forgive me if I've butchered the name. Now, Michael Kosi Dede, a policy analyst and an engineer, has criticized Ghanaian politicians for what he calls their indifference to tackling Galamsey and other urgent national challenges. Speaking yesterday on a media channel, Mr. Dede made a case that politicians allocate resources and show significantly more dedication during elections than when addressing issues of national importance. He emphasized the discrepancy between resources allocated for elections and those dedicated to combat illicit mining, citing the just concluded Akwitiaba election as an example. Mr. Dede further charged that politicians put down their goals ahead of the welfare of common Ghanaians. That is very, very true. Using the Akwitiaba elections as a case study, it is a constituency, first and foremost. It's not the whole region, no. And we are hearing of 5,000 policemen being dispatched. And it begs the question, what about all these sites, these galamseys? So we have 5,000 policemen who can, enforce the law and order, and the galamsey sites is still almost as though we are helpless to the issue. What is happening?
So, okay.
You go first.
So the valid concern, which is, elections receive more funds as compared to social activities like the fight against galamsey receiving less funds, is very valid. It's very true. But some politicians also argue that, when it comes to elections, it is a way of expressing our democracy, and it is urgent. And so the kind of money they receive is just to, push into their campaigns and everything. But with the fight against illegal mining, it is still ongoing, even though the progress is slow, but it is a fight that is ongoing. It cannot be tackled immediately because there are so many people involved in the act of illegal mining. And these people are getting their source of income and all that. G gets it.
But in the end, the means is what we are talking about.
Yeah.
You are able to dispatch 5,000 policemen to a constituency, a number of polling stations all around there.
Yeah.
Now, okay, the locations of these polling stations juxtaposed with the locations of all these galamsey sites, are you telling me that the same thing cannot be done? I mean, the by-election was done for just a day.
Yeah.
Now, galamsey has been ongoing, and we've mostly heard of a few task forces here and there, but we don't hear of the military, police, all these security agencies. We're not hearing that, a lot of force is being sent, maybe to one area, go and combat, come back, deal, we don't hear anything like that. And, I remember some time back, somebody, I don't remember who exactly, but somebody was like, ballot boxes make their way to every nook and cranny of this country when it's time for elections, but development doesn't. How is it that they are able to find their ways to all these rural areas for people to vote for them, but when it comes to giving them light, giving them potable drinking water, it's a work in progress?
Yeah, do you know why? Do you know why it's so? Because elections secure power. And then issues like this, it takes a long way to actually come to resolve it. And then if you're a political party or a politician and you want to tackle issue like this, you end up losing your vote. And so I will not entirely blame the politicians, but I will blame our system and we the voters as well. Because we tend to, vote for, visible things. That's the most reason why whenever there's an election, you see roads being constructed. Look at the promises politicians give us to actually get our votes. For the past years, if you are to look at the winning messages, the winning messages are all about, youth employment and other things, leaving pertinent issues, challenges facing us. Something like galamsey, it's not that they are not aware, they are aware. But instead of them putting the energy, like you rightly said, into it to solve it, it will take like government financiers and all that. They know how to put an end to it. But if you put an end to it, it means that you're taking the risk of you losing elections.
Yeah.
And so the fact is that, like I said,
that's where their funds are coming from.
Because it is just
with the election violence, yes, lives will be lost in the short term, 1 or 2 gunshots here and there. But galamsey, in the long term, generations to come, these same politicians will also probably have a few members of their families here and there also being affected. Why don't we give such concern to those things?
So it's about power. And then you get the power from the people. So like we rightly said, in as much as we are fighting against galamsey, there are some people that rely on galamsey. So if you go there as a politician who wants to, come into power, and you go there, tell them that when I come, I'll cancel illegal mining, you're going to lose votes. And they don't want to risk that. And then also, when you take a look at our system, the tenure of office is just 4 years. Tell me, 4 years, what can you do? What developmental project can you do? A lot can be done
in 4 years.
And then because we spend more time, so in the 4 years, politicians actually spend 2 years campaigning. Why? Because now before you come into power, you promise the people of a whole lot. And then once you are given the mandate to rule the country, you would have to some way fulfill your promise, some of the promises. And that will take like 2 years. 1 year is for governance, which is of course not enough. And then the remaining year is preparing for another election. And so the whole game about election is about...
They set themselves up with that.
So it's high time we review the constitution and see that there will be a number of years. And then our attitude as voters. No, the just ended one. We saw some interview granted by some stations and the people were requesting for money that you give us money and we vote.
It's because they are also taking advantage of the fact that these people are power hungry. So it's a vicious cycle.
So the thing is that until we, as Ghanaians, learn that, I mean, we need reforms that will go a long way to help we as a country. Like reforms like education, energy and all that can take about 10 to 20 years. And as a politician competing, if I come and tell you this is what I want to do, and somebody is promising, youth employment and all that, you think they'll vote for somebody who has a vision, the long-term vision?
But
no.
I think now Ghanaians are actually waking up, considering the massive turnout for the just ended 2024 elections. There is hope. But
so even
still,
with that, it was an agenda set by the media, which went in favor of this, government. So it wasn't part of their plan to fight illegal mining. It was an agenda set by the media, and then they leveraged on it to win the elections. But as to how to tackle it, it is not. They can't.
But in saying they leveraged on just that agenda may not be accurate, because looking at the massive landslide when it comes to the wind, almost 1 million votes in difference, right?
Exactly.
So it could be that Ghanaians are seeing something, if you come, you don't perform, we vote you out. So small, I think we can get there, but it needs to be a little quicker, because other national issues are also very important. Some of these things, like even the rent issue, is something that we can look into, because some of these politicians also have investments in real estate.
Exactly.
They could also, get under some control. But then,
adding up to what Mimi said, like it was a national something. Because most people say that the other party was voted out because of illegal mining and all that, and they voted for this new party because of the assurance they give Ghanaians and when they come. And so, since this party's existence, a lot of people have been making comments and all that. That even people sit down and be like, okay, Galamsey, the fight against Galamsey, when you do 1 or 2. You can just end it. But we are saying there are campaigns.
Yes, it's not as simple. But just as our governments can crack down when they want to on certain, institutions or certain people, just like we have 5,000 policemen at one constituency. It's not impossible at all.
So the thing is that as you want to help the people are not seeing it that way. So you risk losing power or votes.
In the end, in the long term, they come and realize that...
Who issued the lands to these people The chiefs, right? Traditional leaders. They should be involved in the fight against illegal mining. It shouldn't be like government is taking the responsibility.
Similar to slavery. Some of the chiefs were also selling the people themselves because they saw that it was lucrative.
It is only community involvement that is going to help the fight of illegal. Because as we sit here, we are not experiencing Galamsey here. It is
but we are experiencing the effects.
Yes, but it is happening, deep down, the roots, villages and other places. So we need to engage the traditional leaders in the fight against Galamsey. If not, but we'll just talk and talk.
Just opposing with the election violence, community leaders and things, people have been educated that, look, don't let any politician instigate you to come and start any violent activities. In the end, regardless, they brought 5,000 policemen. We can't bring 5,000 policemen there. But
Peter, surprised that when some policemen are sent to Galamsey, I do not go. That's another thing. They will not go.
It's about the systems, as you said. So, Peter, you were going to say something that we end here.
Was saying, government has actually put in a whole lot of initiatives in place to help, fight this Galamsey we are all talking about. And I had a chance to I saw a letter dated 29th September, a letter from the acting Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Ama Kofi, saying that the AGE should immediately revoke the LI 2462.
Yes, they were supposed to do that long ago.
To help fight this calamity. And so, until politicians get to know that, nation building is not about, promises and all that, and until we, the voters, get to know that, giving power to politicians who actually tend to give visible, how do you call it? I mean, it is like roads. I mean, it's funny that some people even give out money, yogurt and all that just to influence people to vote. Yeah. So until we see that thing,
politicians are taking advantage of us. We too, we are taking advantage of them. So it has to end somewhere.
We have to start with the upcoming generation.
Exactly.
Because with this generation,
but still, we are laying the foundation. If the Bible, if the foundations are something, what would they something do? All right. Now, this brings us to the end of the online and print review. I did this with my co-hosts here, Miriam and Peter. It was a very interesting conversation, very inspiring. We learned a lot here. Thank you also for your comments. Up next is the lifestyle segment. We're going to be hearing about the Ugwa Fetu Afashe. So if you don't have anywhere to be this weekend, make your way to Cape Coast and go and experience some rich culture. Then also, we're going to be hearing about the importance of physiotherapy. So, so we'll be right back.
Unconditional Love by Jackie, and we are telling you that Unconditional Love is going to be experienced at the Pimpamsie Hotel this weekend as we join hands in celebrating this year's Fetu Afashe 2025. Woo! And just as I said earlier, Clock TV promises to bring you every single facet of this celebration, being it entertainment, being it sports, being it, policy related, being it education, every single thing you need to know about Fetu Afashe. Trust Clock TV to bring you nothing but premium content on this celebration. We'll be speaking to a rep from the Pimpamsie Hotel to tell us about the Pimpamsie Hotel Beer Festival 2025 as part of the Fetu Afashe Festival. But I have Benedict and Ketia Kwaten here with me. I'm excited because I have the opportunity to join them this year, in Cape Coast in celebrating Fetu Afashe. He has been there, I think, twice or three times. He's going to share his experience with us. And we'll also talk about the sports aspects of the celebration because we don't always want to leave the boys out of it. Hi, Benedict.
Hello.
Benedict, I'm just hyping Fetu Afashe. What's so special about this festival?
Well, Fetu Afashe, for some years now, we've been celebrating it in the Cape Coast, the central part of Ghana, every year around this time of the year in September, during the first week or the second week, latest by the second week in September, we go on to celebrate the Fetu Afashe. And then this time around, of course, that, as it's been happening, we are celebrating how far we have come as a community. I'm using the pronoun we because I have been joining them for the past 2-3 years now.
Oh, okay.
I've been experiencing it for these past years now.
Okay, so let's talk about Pimpamsie Hotel because that's where you guys always lodge.
Yeah.
And we have to hype the hotel.
Yes.
So what's so unique, what's so special
Pimpamsie
about Pimpamsie
Hotel is for lack of better words, in the shortest possible words, it's home away from home. This is because when you are at the hotel, you feel very comfortable. Sometimes you go there and then you don't even miss home because of the reception you are getting over there. And it has a very greenery scene. I mean, when you are there, you feel the nature. You feel very close to everything around you. Very conducive atmosphere.
Wow.
The air is very good. Greenery.
Do they have a swimming pool?
Yeah, they have a swimming pool.
A very big
They
swimming pool.
have a very big swimming pool. They have a gym.
So Benedict, let's speak to someone at Pimpamsie Hotel. She is Madam Priscilla. She's Priscilla Kari. She's the duty manager at Pimpamsie Hotel. Let's speak to her and then we'll get to know more about the hotel and the experiences it comes with. Hello, Ma, can you hear me?
Yes, please. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, thank you for joining us here on Clock TV. We've been talking about Fetu Afashe and also Pimpamsie Hotel. Now, let's just focus on Pimpamsie Hotel because that is where most people are likely to lodge at. Tell us the uniqueness about this hotel. What should people expect when they come to Pimpamsie Hotel?
Okay, so as they are coming, they should expect something very exciting. Because this Friday, Fetu Afashe starts on Friday.
Okay.
And the enjoyment starts from Friday through to Sunday.
Okay.
And we have lots of program lined up for everybody. It's a time of relaxation and enjoyment.
Okay.
So this Friday kicks off the excitement with an old school jam. Featuring our evergreen Clockzat band.
Yay!
Exactly. And it's from 6 p.m. till you drop.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. That's the excitement. Come and dance the night away on the Friday night. Classic hit. Exactly. Then on Saturday, we have the reggae night. A people love reggae.
Yeah.
They give you good music. Exactly. Yeah. So come and experience the vibrant beats of Ras Weezy and Ras Alfred with the Clockzat band alongside. We never go anywhere without them. They have been our rhythm, And then on Sunday, we have the inter-school football gala.
Okay.
Featuring Accra Academy, Adisadel College, St. Augustine's College, Infantipen, Ghana National, Agri Memorial, the schools in Cape Coast, you know. Come and cheer on your school or the school that you know you have crashes in and all that. And then you're not leaving out the children as well.
Okay.
10 a.m. we have something for the kids. They'll come and enjoy themselves. They'll have face painting. They'll do the bounty castle, you know. And then we'll give them, you know, their sweets, the ice cream, the popcorn. They'll have games amongst themselves. There'll be cotton candies and all, just to make their day memorable.
Interesting. Now, Priscilla, can you please tell us, are there some special packages for visitors who will be coming to the hotel this weekend, especially? Are there some discounts, you know, special packages?
Oh, so you know that it's a peak season, and everything we are going to do is we are not taking any gate fee whatsoever. It's free.
Free.
So once you are lodging there, you come and enjoy yourself.
I see. Now, how is the hotel planning to accommodate, you know, the number of people that will be trooping in, you know, Pimpamsie Hotel? Because we know Pimpamsie Hotel is the best hotel when it comes to, you know, reception and all that. But how is the hotel prepared in accommodating people?
Okay, so we are even fully booked.
Yeah, fully booked.
Fully booked.
Hey. Wow.
We are fully booked, yes.
But what do you do to the people that come there that makes Pimpamsie Hotel very special? Because as it's now that you're fully booked, then it means there is something special you guys are doing at the hotel.
It is the warm reception we give our guests when they come. It is the interpersonal relationship that we create with our guests. Just as Benedict said, it's home away from home, like he said, for lack of better word.
Yeah.
So when you come, you just don't feel like going. Some people are spending more than 3 days.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Thank you, Priscilla. Your last words to, you know, anyone watching us, or maybe those that have booked and are yet to come. Say something to them as they are watching this morning.
All I want to tell them is that get ready to raise your glasses because Pimpamsie Hotel Beer Festival is here again. All roads lead to Pimpamsie Hotel this Ogwashi to Afashe period. Don't miss it for anything. Whether you're lodging there or not, come and enjoy a night of classic music with a lot of rhythm. Come and boogie. Come and show us the dance moves. We know the oldies, you know, the middies, and then the youngies, not less than 18. Yes, please. So please come and enjoy. And then less than the 18 people, come and enjoy yours on Sunday morning with your fun games and your popcorns and then your cotton candies and your ice creams. We expect everyone to be there. And I hope you will be there yourself.
Of course. Thank you so much, Madam Priscilla Kari is the duty manager at Pimpamsie Hotel, and she briefly told us what to expect when we come to Pimpamsie Hotel. And just as she mentioned, the place is fully booked as at now. But don't worry, right after the festival, you can still go there and have, you know, the home from home experience. Yes. Now, Benedict, you were mentioned as a reference when Priscilla was talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and she also mentioned that there will be some sports activities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us about it. I heard Accra Academy.
Yes. So let me briefly go through.
Sure.
We have a sports gala, inter-schools gala that we organize every year. On Sundays, either on Saturdays, but this time around we are playing it on Sunday because of the schedule of programs that we are having. And then the first match is between Infantipen and then Ghana National College. We have St. Augustine's versus Accra Academy. We have Agri Memorial versus Infantipen. Adisadel against St. Augustine's College. Ghana National College against Agri Memorial. And then Accra Academy against Adisadel. So it's an all-player competition, but we are using a league table. So whoever wins will be qualified, will be making a table from the least point to the highest point, and then we'll play the final. So by the close of the day, we are hoping to finish the matches. Okay. It's going to be an interesting session because, you know, every year, every school wants to prove their worth. And then, you know, as always, Accra Academy is dominating most of the schools in the central region. It's quite sad because Accra Academy will come all the way from Accra and come and win the competition, and then they will take the trophy back, and then the schools in Cape Coast will just be there. But then hopefully this time around, it will be very keen. The competition will be very keen because we've seen the preparation that's been going on. We've gone around the schools, we've gone around the old boys, their meetings, and we've seen the preparation they are putting towards this Oguafetu Afashe Inter-Schools Gala.
We had some balloting, you know, took place.
Yes. And that was what brought about this fixtures. The balloting helped us to determine who is playing against who, and then who is playing first, second, third, and to the last session of it.
Interesting.
Yes.
So we will be there to experience that.
We will.
We can't wait to see who the winners.
I wish everybody will come.
Yeah.
I mean, from Priscilla said something in her last words, and then I like it so much. She said, even if you're not lodging in the hotel, you can still come around and experience the programs they have lined up. So it is an open for all program. Anybody, wherever you are. The place is fully booked. There is no way we can accommodate everyone, but the programs is open for all. You can still come around and then experience whatever we have.
Especially the reggae night and then the old school night.
Yes, I mean every program on the bill is very important. When you experience it, you wouldn't want it to end. Trust me, because it's fun and it's going to be memorable for all of us.
Interesting. Right. Now, do you have some other sports news?
Yes, I have sports news, and then as usual, you know, the Black Stars, we are playing our qualifiers towards the World Cup, and then we have our game that is coming up against Chad. In our match, we two of our pillars, Alexander Jiku and then Joseph Pentel, they are not playing the Chad match because for some unfortunate reasons. That is because for Alexander Jiku, he's making a move to Spartak Moscow, so he has to be in Russia for his medicals. So due to that, he will make a late return to Ghana, to Africa for the qualifiers. So we'll miss him during the match against Chad. But then, of course, against Mali, he'll be available. And of course, for Joseph Pentel too, unfortunately, he had his flight delayed, so he couldn't make it to Ghana. As at the time he landed, the team were already in the air to Chad. He landed on Tuesday morning, but then the camp had already moved to Chad. So unfortunately, we'll miss Joseph Pentel and then Alexander Jiku. And these two gentlemen are very strong pillars for the national team. Yes, we will miss them, but then I know Coach Otuado is going to replace them with equally better players. So we didn't miss them that much, but of course they'll be available for the Mali game. And then let's move to Europe. A game that went on just last week between Grimsby and then Manchester United. That is so it was the Carabao Cup. So normally in England, they organize this Carabao Cup. It's more like a local competition that goes on for the clubs around Europe, England, in that manner. And then Grimsby fielded an ineligible player who goes by the name Clark Oduo. And he was registered 12-1. The deadline for registration is 12 p.m. And this gentleman was registered at 12-1. So 59 seconds after 12. So just a minute after 12. And that was when he was registered. And this gentleman, yes, he was registered at that period, but he didn't start the game. He came in the second half when Grimsby were already leading 2-0 against Manchester United. And then, I mean, he came in, I watched the game. He was, he had impact in the game, but then his presence still made Manchester United come back, and then they scored 2 goals. And for this reason, for his late registration, their team is being fined £20,000, and just for this faulting. And the team, one good thing about the whites, and I hope the blacks we can learn from it, is they are honest.
Yeah.
They reported themselves
okay.
to the federation that this player, they fielded him in the game, but he was registered a minute after 12, after the deadline. And then, of course, a crime is a crime, whether you reported it yourself or someone reported you. So far as you have flouted the rules, you are going to be fined. So they were fined £20,000 for fielding him in the game. And now there's an issue that is going on. There's a story that is going on. Right now, we want Manchester United we are waiting for Manchester United to send their feedback as to if they want the match to be annulled. That means they will take the qualification against Grimsby. Okay. Grimsby won by 12. They went on to penalties. They played 2-2 in the full time. They went on to penalties, and Grimsby won by 12-11. Okay. So Manchester United, they are out of the competition, the Carabao Cup. But then due to this issue with Grimsby United, Manchester United have to now come out to say if they want to take the point or they will just let it go. Yeah. And in my opinion, I think United should just let it go.
Of course.
You have lost. You have lost. So just let it go. Let Grimsby
or
enjoy this. Or
maybe they would consider taking it to compensate their supporters.
Yes. Like I was saying, the gentleman came in when United was 2-0 down. And even with his presence, United came to score 2 goals. And it went on to penalties. Yeah. So he had an impact in the game, but it wasn't that really significant. Yeah. If I'm not wrong, but for him to come on and then United to still score 2 goals and equalize and then go on to penalties. I mean, and then even in penalties, the gentleman made his penalty. so you can tell that it wasn't. I think they shouldn't be sore losers. Manchester United, they should just take the L and then go back home, prepare. Work their asses up for the league, because that's where they must perform very well. And then let's move on to the next story. This is we are moving straight to Spain. So our very own Inaki Williams, he suffered a racial abuse. That was in 2020, far back 2020. He was racially abused, and then for now the person the persons who racially abused Inaki Williams, they've been sentenced to 1 year in prison. Yes, for it's actually bad because it's been going on for Spain, especially in Europe. Let me generalize it. In Europe, most of the black players are racially abused, especially if you are performing very well against their teams, the opponents. They racially abuse them. We have Vinicius Jr. of Real Madrid. He's been abused for a very long time. He entered Real Madrid in 2018, and then since then, Vinicius Jr. is always at the edge of being racially abused. Inaki Williams is one example. His brother Nico Williams, he has a younger brother. They play in the same team. He's also racially abused most of the time, and then. So I hope this will serve as a warning to most of the fans out there.
I'm actually happy that this has been I don't know how to put it, but it went in favor of Inaki, especially as he's black. Usually you'd find them losing such cases, but in this case that he won the case, I'm happy that it shows that the whites are eventually trying to understand how we feel when we are being abused.
Football is supposed to be a game that brings people together. People from different cultures of life together. So when out of the game, I mean, there are times where you'll be losing. Someone will be performing very well against you, you'll be losing. It doesn't warrant you racially abusing. Exchange of words is allowed. It's part of the things that makes the game exciting. But after that, we come back together as one. Whether you are black or white, it is a white man's team, but I'm black. I'm playing for the white man's team. If I was in your team and I was performing better, equally better, I don't think you racially be abusing me. So I think these people should learn from this, and it goes a long way. These people that have been fined to go to prison, they wouldn't actually serve in prison, but then they will be doing community service. They have been banned from attending any sporting event in any stadium for the next 3 years. So you know that you have bought season tickets. That's what most of them they do. They've bought season tickets for the whole season, and then now they can't go on because of what they've been fined. So it's going to serve as a deterrent to most of the players and most of the fans out there. Stop racially abusing our players out there, and then let's have fun, let's enjoy the game, because football is supposed to bring us together. So yeah, Mimi, that is it for the sports update segment.
All right, Benedict Nkitiah-Kwarteng, thank you so much for taking us into the world of sports. We will be linking up, over this weekend at Pimcomtia Hotel to witness what will be happening. And I'm really, really rooting for Accra Academy. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so we have an important discussion today on the lifestyle segment. It has to do with physiotherapy. The world is growing, it's aging, we are all growing, and the role of physiotherapy is also very, very important. And so that conversation is going to happen right after this break. Let's take this break, we'll be right back. And you're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. I am Miriam Abna Adidi. Just as I mentioned earlier, we will be having a conversation that has to do with the Global Aging Challenge, the role of physiotherapy. And we have our guest in the studio. He's in the person of Mr. Koko Asare, and he's a physiotherapist. Yeah, so that's just what I can say about him. But he's been here before. We'll get to know him better in the course of the conversation. And so you are being reminded that we are streaming live on Facebook and also YouTube. And so you can send your questions or comments via our streaming platforms and also to our WhatsApp number, which is displayed on your screens right now. Now, hello, say.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Koko Digest morning show.
Thank you for having me.
So why are we even having this conversation today?
Well, we are having this conversation because of our population as Ghanaians and as Africans.
Yeah.
When you take a very good look at African our population, about 60% of us are youth. And the question is that what will happen in the next 60 years? It means the majority of our population will be aging.
Yeah.
And it's a current challenge that other continents are facing, like the Europe, and the Chinese people to also facing the same challenge. So we will definitely be growing as humans as we are. And as physiotherapists, we have a role to play when it comes to the aging population so that people are not just going to live, but rather they are going to live healthily. That is the main aim of
well
this
said,
celebration.
interesting. But when we talk about physiotherapy, let's just break it down to the understanding of everyone. What does it mean in basic terms?
Yes, so when it comes to physical therapy, as the Americans will say, or physiotherapy, as the British will say, we are aspect of movement. Our sole function is we study movement, how as human beings as we are, we will definitely move from one place to the other. So when the body breaks down, how do we encourage the person to move from one place to the other? So we basically study the human motion, we basically study functionality, and we use other modalities as a treatment to also supplement our therapies in the hospital. So physical therapy is just aspect of movement in very short aspects of movement.
Yeah. And so he brought someone to demonstrate to us how, you know, these therapies are being done. And so we'll be doing that in the course of the conversation. But let me also remind you that this conversation is coming not by a coincidence, but also towards the upcoming day celebration, which is the World Physiotherapy Day, which will be celebrated on the 8th of September, I think. And so, yes, that is why we are having this conversation, so that we can all be abreast with all the importance of physiotherapy in our lives. Speaking of importance, how important is physiotherapy to all ages? I don't want to just limit it to the aged.
Yes, I would like us to project some statistics that I shared with us.
Producer, can we have that on our screens? Right.
Yes, so if we take a very good look at the statistics that we have on our screen, about 2.1 billion people are will be over 60 years by 2025, by 2050.
Okay.
And if you check the amount of money spent on fall-related costs, like people will fall and sustain a fracture, people will fall and sustain a head injury and all those kind of things, the cost involved is about 50 billion USD. And when you check fracture cases as a result of falls, we have about 95% of all fractures as a result of fall. Now, if you look at our environment, we have tiles all around. Our bath houses are full of tiles. And so it's very important that we educate the public on how to maneuver these obstacles within our environment, as well as strengthen them and improve their balance. Because as humans, we definitely work in an environment which has a lot of obstacles. So if you don't have a good balance, you will not be able to navigate these areas. So as physios, we are responsible for training your muscles to be able to compete with the environment. We are responsible for improving your balance depending on the kind of work that you do. And we are also responsible to, as I said, we are aspect of movement. So how you sit at work. We teach you how to sit at work. We instruct you on the proper positionings in terms of using gadgets. There's something we call test neck syndrome. So whenever you are using your phone and your neck is bent downwards and you are typing, which eventually affects your neck's muscles or perhaps the structures we have in your neck. So physios are responsible for making sure that we correct these things and we prevent them from happening. And that is what we do.
Right. So when you look at the theme for this year's celebration, it says the role of physiotherapy and physical activity in healthy aging with a focused look at preventing fertility and falls. Now, my question has to do with how can physiotherapy help prevent fertility among older adults?
Thank you. So I just want to call my colleague,
okay, sure.
And then we just perform some shots. Scene here. Sometimes we think we are so balanced or we are so stable. This is a very young man that we are going to use for the demonstration today.
Okay. Oh, you can.
Yes. So he is standing straight, and he has base of support. Okay. That is his balance. Okay. And we are going to blind some of the base of support to see if indeed he is balanced well.
Okay.
So we tell him to close his eyes.
Okay.
Or perhaps close the base of support, put the limbs together. After putting the limbs together, we tell him to lift one limb up. And you can see from the point that he's shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
This tells you that the balance is not that stable.
Oh, okay.
And if we have this person mistakenly miss a step and has to fall, this person will not be able to balance himself well. Now, we can also go further. Though this is the point that he's struggling, it means that as physios, we should be able to train the person's balance from this spot. Now, if this is the stage in which our patient is struggling, then you tell, put the limb down.
So, Mr. Quick, can you come back a little bit so that our viewers can have a view? They should go to the far end. Okay. That's fine, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to have a very close look so that when I go home, I can teach my siblings.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our patient here. Now, what we are going to do is that we are going to reduce some of the components we use in balance. Okay. So first of all, we will tell him to put the feet together. Okay. Now we are really decreasing it. Then we will tell him to lift one leg up.
Okay.
So we've also decreased it again.
Okay.
Now, as you can see, we will have a little bit of swing. That it means that if our patient is having challenge with balancing himself in public, it definitely means he's going to fall or something. Yeah. Now, we can also take another component out. That is the eye, which is also used in balancing. So we tell him, can you close your eyes for us? Now, you can see he will be shaking more. You see how he's shaking more?
Yeah.
Yes. So it tells us that we need to improve upon our balance so that if we don't have very good vision, we can still be able to find ourselves in space. So that's just basically about balance with us.
Okay.
So it's important that as humans, definitely we are going to move from one place to the other, and balance and our muscle strength is very important to us. And physios are responsible for making sure that these things get improved throughout our life. We are saying that you are not just supposed to live, you are just supposed to live healthily without pain. Okay. You are not supposed to live with the kind of scattered environment we have. Yeah. You should still be able to navigate through our environment, the challenging environment we do have. So what we do is that a physio will assess you, check some of the components that you don't have, or check the level of it, and a physio will give you instructions on how you are going to improve upon some of these things.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now, we know one thing that is associated with the old age people or folks is falling. They easily fall. Now, how can one, avoid this risk? Because you mentioned that they need to be balanced, but are there some, I don't know how to put it, provisions to help them avoid this risk of falling?
Yes. There are a lot of things we can do. And one, a physio has to do what we call the risk assessment for you. Yeah. Then secondly, the physio will have to come and screen your environment, or perhaps if even it's your workplace. So I want us to showcase the preventive strategies we can use in avoiding falls in our daily lives.
But can we have the comprehensive fall prevention slide on our screens? Okay.
Yes. So the environment is the first thing. I think I made mention of this. And with this, when you invite the physio will be able to screen your environment and will tell you, okay, this thing we need to place it here based on your height. This thing we need to, because if you are so short and you have a library, and the library is, you have most of your books on a very high height, then it means you need to stand on something to pick it. Okay, and the more you keep standing on things, who knows, you might lose a balance and you fall. So the physio will have to come and check all these things, check the hazard within the environment, and we have other medical practitioners who also have to come in, especially the ophthalmologist and co. So they have to come in and check and see if you have a very good vision. If you have a very good vision, how is your lighting system in your house? So the physio will screen all these things and give you an advice on it. The next one I want to talk about medicine. So the medicines that we take sometimes have side effects, and some of the side effects can make you a little bit weak, drowsy. And so if your practitioner gives you some sort of medicine, you have to ask, do I have any side effects? Sometimes, as humans as we are, we may forget. Some of it, they might even tell you not to drive with it. Why? Okay. Because maybe you might feel very weak to be able to control in case of any kind of emergency. So that's one of the things that we also advocate. And then the third one is the physical one, which physio will play major role over here. Strength, then your flexibility, balance, and then endurance. We have some of us, we think we are so fit, but if you tell the person to sit, fold the arms on the chest, and stand up from the seat, you'll see that the person was struggling. And if you are in the house watching us, you can practice this. Put your hands on fold the arms on the chest, and then try to stand from sitting. And you see how you struggle. It's different from using your limbs to support yourself. It's different from using your limbs to just hold the seat to push yourself up. And these are some of the, strength tests a physio will do to kind of advise you. And one last thing is flexibility. Mostly we think about strengthening, but we don't do flexibility exercises. So a physio will check how tight your muscles are, how tight, the tone of your muscles as well, and the physio will definitely advise on what to do in order to make you healthy. Because if a muscle is so tight, it can irritate some tissues in the human body, and that will also give you pain, which might not make your life so comfortable.
But are there some, early frailties that people should look out for in terms of families, and, are there some signs that we should look out for in our aged when we are living with them in the house or something?
Yes, there are. So a typical example is there's something we call autonomic swing of the arm. And if someone is walking, we don't usually do it. You will not usually think of it. It's not a conscious thing. The body itself will be doing it. If someone is walking, you will see the left lower limb moves with the right upper limb. So it's like a 6 march, a march pass. So mostly when we are walking, this leg moves, the left leg moves, and then the right leg moves. So it's something that alternates during your gait, but it's a physio that can see some of these things and advise you on it. But if you are in the house with a relative and you see that suddenly there is no autonomic swing of the upper limb, then you should let the person see your physio. Because it's a typical sign that there is something going wrong. If you see that the person is walking too slow, the pace of the walk is too slow, because it shouldn't be so slow. The moment it becomes so slow, then it means the person is trying to use more effort to balance himself. Yes. And these are some of the minor things we should be looking out for in the aged population in order to advise them to see a licensed physiotherapist.
And I know seeing a physiotherapist comes with a cost, right?
Yes.
So let's just assume that the aged in our houses do not really have, the finances to see you. What are some of our daily physical activities we can involve ourselves in as aged people so that they can stay fit and healthy without necessarily, booking you, even though we have to see you so that you get your monthly salary, but how can that also be done when the money is not available?
Yes, I want to put this across. Next week, which is 8th of September, is World Physio Day across the country and the world as well. So most of us are doing free screening for people. Typical example is the physio specialist. He's doing free screening. Greater Accra Regional Hospital too will be doing free screening. I'm pretty sure Kolebu too would also be advocating and doing free screening. So it's across the country. So anywhere you find yourself, you can take opportunity of this day if you think financially you are not that fit to see a physio. However, I think seeing a physio is covered under the National Health Insurance as well. Some hospitals is covered as well. But I'll come back to your question. I'm just saying these things to give the notion that physio is available and physio is fit to give the necessary treatment to Ghanaians and all other population across the globe. So the question was about what are some of the things that
daily routines we can do. Yeah.
Mostly we think strengthening, or let's say gym, is for the young. That's a myth. Yes. So healthy aging is whatever you are doing at your useful age. You should be able to do, if not exactly that, at least similar to that. So for instance, if you are swimming in your useful age, you should be able to swim in your old age.
Oh.
Yes, you should be able to swim unless you've been advised by a practitioner that you are not supposed to do these things. So some of the things we can do is strengthening. But like I said, normally we have to get a baseline. We don't know your fitness level. Yeah. So a physio have to assess your fitness level and advise based on that by giving you exercise prescription. So those exercises will be able to cater for those things. But the general things we can do is sit to stand.
Okay.
Just like squatting.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can't squat without a chair, then you should just be doing the normal squats that we have. You sit on a chair and you stand up. You sit on a chair and you stand up. You can increase the intensity by folding your arms on the chest, and then you stand up, and that one will improve your lower limbs to be able to get off your chair anytime as you are aging. Because we have some old men and women in our society that people have to hold their hands before they stand.
Yeah.
You know, that is not the kind of aging we want. We want the kind of aging that you should be able to do all that you want to do, including the basic things in our lives.
Some people also ascribe their strength to the daily activities, like our market women. We have some old women still going to the market, coming back. Do they also need to go through the sit and stand routine you just mentioned?
Yes. So the body is in such a way that it doesn't like to be doing one activity for a very long time. So for instance, if you cross your leg for a very long time, your body will start giving you feedback that, hey, I'm tired. You see that either your leg will be numb somehow, or you start feeling pain in your hip. So basically, the body doesn't like to be placed in one position for a very long time. So what we advise is that if you're a market woman and you sell for some time, just stand and doing some stretches a little bit. We know it's quite difficult in our jurisdiction, but that is why we are advocating today that you need to live healthily. And even these market women we are referring to, sometimes they come to the clinic and they are in serious pain. So they are the people that we advocate that they should keep seeing their practitioners. If you cannot run, if you cannot do intensive exercises, then you can do just basic exercises like we taught, sit to stand, you know, stretching your arms, stretching your legs a little bit, because especially the hamstring muscle, the muscle at our back of our thigh, is quite stubborn most of the time. So you stretch it, you just straighten your legs and attempt touching your toes just to stretch those muscles a little bit. So those are the things you can do to keep the length of your muscle as you age.
Right. So in your practice as a physiotherapist for so many years, what has been one common, problem with our aged? One common problem that runs through most people, and maybe we look at the cause of that problem. Yes.
So one of the things is we delay in seeing our medical officers or our physiotherapist.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes we think as soon as the person starts feeling some knee pain, the person will just buy some cream, some analgesics, just visit the pharmacy, get some analgesics and start rubbing it around the place. Meanwhile, it could be a start of something that can impair your old age. So if you see a physio early, a typical example is back pain. So mostly when we feel back pain, we feel like, oh, this is normal. Okay, let's take a look at it and see how it goes. Then, it's a structure. And the structure, as you are not treating it, it will start to degrade more.
Yeah.
The degeneration will be more. Degeneration will be more as you are aging. So if you see a physio, the physio will be able to prevent that. So I think that late report to the clinic most of the times is what is one of the problems that we find with our old age people.
Our time is almost up, but how can our communities create, an eco-friendly environment for our aged so that they can involve themselves in physical activities that can keep them healthy and strong?
Yeah, so one of the things I will touch on is towels. Because if you go to the any orthopedic ward now, you might have about 60% of the people sustaining fracture as a result of fall. So let's take a very good look at our environment. Towels.
Yeah.
Let's buy the quality ones that has good grip whenever you step on it, so that it prevents you from falling. That's one of the things I will advise. And then the sloping pathways. Those are some of the things we can use in our community to facilitate the movement of the aged people.
Right. One last thing. There are younger people also watching us. How can they also prepare for their aged or their old age while staying healthy through that period?
It's very simple. You have only one body. You cannot replace, if even you can replace, you can't completely get the lifestyle that you used to have.
Yeah.
So just take good care of your body. And if your body gives you feedbacks like pain, feedbacks like headache, and other things, please see your practitioner. Don't think that you are so young so you can carry a lot of things. Let's reduce the rate in which we lift loads, because yes, you might be able to lift a bag of cement today, but if you keep lifting it, tomorrow you might not be able to lift it. So use equipment that could easily facilitate movement of items from one place to the other. If you think something is so heavy for you to carry, just ask for help. This is not a big deal. Just call on someone. There was a time in the consulting room, someone just came, was like, he was working at a factory and we were picking drinks. And he said a sound at the back, had a fracture somewhere. Yeah. So basically we are advising that if you think something is so heavy, don't think you are young and you are vibrant so you can pick them. Just call for help. Don't be ashamed.
Just to chip in this, with the men or the young men who think their girlfriends are too heavy to carry, do they also involve someone or invite someone to carry them along?
Well, if you think your girlfriend is too heavy, please don't carry her. Well, perhaps you can
call for help.
Call for help. You are not supposed to lift heavy things. Yes, it puts so much pressure on your skeletal
Thank you
system.
very much, Mr. Koko Asare. He's a physiotherapist, and he's saying if you think something is too heavy, call for help or don't even attempt. James, Clement, Andy, be warned. All right, thank you so much. That was a very insightful conversation over there as we looked at the Global Aging Challenge, the role of physiotherapy. I hope you've learned something. Now let's do some birthdays and then our business will follow.
I heard today was your birthday. Today was your birthday.
You're welcome back. Now let's start with our first birthday celebrant. Oh, a happy birthday belated birthday actually to our general manager. Yesterday was his birthday, and just as you can see on our screens, he's cutting a cake with some of our colleagues at the Controller and Accountants General's Department. That was a very beautiful scene to behold. We here at Clock TV, we are also wishing you a belated birthday. We love you so much, sir. God bless you for everything you do for us. And we appreciate you so, so much. And we have a message to the General Manager of Clock TV, Mr. Cephas Dosu. Happy birthday to our amazing General Manager. Your leadership, vision, and dedication keep inspiring us every day. Wishing you many more years of success and happiness from all of us at Clock TV. we say a happy, happy belated birthday. And this is also from James, and he's saying a happy birthday, Hawa. Wishing you a year filled with more grace and God's abundant blessings. May He guide and bless you in every area of your life with supernatural speed. Happy birthday to you, Hawa. This is also from James. We have this to Nana Ankoma. Today marks another year of life, love, and adventure. We are so proud of the kind, smart, and talented person you're growing up to be. We love watching you chase your dreams and explore the world around you. Your curiosity, sense of humor, and big heart brings so much joy to our lives. With all our love, son, we love you so much. This is from your mom and dad to Nana Ankoma. And we also have this to Lady Mercy. And it says, we give thanks to God for adding another year to your age. We pray that the good Lord will keep you and preserve you. We pray that His perfect will be done in your life. Have a great day today and a blessed year ahead. Happy birthday. This is from CLBCBYL. We also have this to Lady Lucy. We give thanks to God for adding another year to your age. We pray that the good Lord will keep you and preserve you. We pray that His perfect will be done in your life. Have a great day today and a blessed year ahead. Happy birthday from CLBCBYL. Thank you so much for bringing in your birthday messages. We will still be open to receiving more of that as we have more of Koko Digest coming your way next week. And so send in your birthday messages to our WhatsApp number and we will wish you in the subsequent productions. I am Miriam Abna Adede. Stay tuned for our business segment.
Good morning, welcome to the Koko Digest Morning Show. This is a business update segment, and I'm your host, Clement Yabankwe. There have been a lot of questions, and people have been talking about this very topic, and it seems people are not really paying attention to. What do you do if you buy a brand new car? Just driving from the house to work, and you get an accident, especially if you go for a loan. Would you now go for another loan to repair the car? What are you going to do? What will you do? If your life savings is used to invest into a business like a provision store or any other business at all, you wake up one morning, you just had a call that there's fire outbreak and your business is burnt down. What are you going to do? Especially the psychological trauma you are going to go through and other things you are you now run to your family, your relative, for a loan, or what actually are you going to do? That is why this morning we are going to have a topic that is centered around these areas. We are going to talk about insurance. We want you to understand why insurance is really important in the daily activity of an ordinary Ghanaian. Yes, we know a lot of people are saying that, do insurance companies really pay claims? Is insurance not for the rich? That is why this morning we have in the studio of Clock TV, Danny Anderson, who happens to be the branch manager of Enterprise Insurance, that's Achimota branch, and also who is a chartered Institute of Insurance Ghana, right? Yes, for 7 years experience. He just won an amazing award. For that one, I won't talk about this. I think he will do that himself when we get there. I also have with me Amanda Maxamo, yes, who is the head of the SME market segment, yes, of Enterprise Insurance. This morning, the conversation is going to be very interesting. And I don't want to miss, so just call a friend, just text a friend that we are back on the screens with discussion about insurance. We just want to move straight into discussion. But let me just introduce my guests. Once again, you're welcome, Danny and Amanda.
Thank you, Clement.
Please, how are you doing?
Awesome.
You look so amazing.
Thank you.
Danny, I think that there are lots of smiles on your face.
Yes, because I'm still in an exciting mood. Because recently, last weekend, at the 5th CIG Insurance Excellence Award, I was awarded the Young Insurance Professional of the Year.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing.
Yeah, so I'm still happy, and I'm still enjoying the moment. And I believe it's a humbling recognition, for all the years of hard work and dedication towards the insurance industry. So for me, as a self-motivated person, this award is it's a fuel to drive me to push boundaries, to continue to put in the efforts that I've put in all over the years, and to help the insurance industry in Ghana, transform the insurance industry in Ghana. So I'm really happy and excited. And thank you so much to the Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana, and also to Enterprise Insurance Limited for giving me this opportunity to serve customers and make sure I impact lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Enterprise Insurance once again for giving Danny that opportunity to serve. Yes, humanity. But before we move into discussion, how did you feel when they mentioned your name on that very day?
In fact, it was a very competitive category, because when you look at the other categories, during the night, we had the highest when it comes to the number of individuals who were nominated. So when my name was mentioned, I was like, yes, you deserve it, you got it. Yeah, so I was happy, I was excited, to be mentioned and walking to the stage with confidence, knowing that your years of hard work, has really paid off. I feel so proud of myself, to be honest. Yeah.
We are equally proud of you. We are equally proud of you. So we want to move straight into discussion. And we've heard about insurance. I gave 2 instances. People ask the question, do insurance companies really pay? But we want to understand, what at all is insurance? Amanda, I want to start with you.
Okay, so thank you for having us here, and good morning to your audience as well. So what is insurance? Basically, I'll try and say it in the layman's point of view, and then Danny would talk about it from the technical standpoint. But to the layman, all we're saying is that there is a risk.
Okay.
You have an asset that you're protecting, or a life that you're protecting, and you want someone to come in when that occurrence or that unforeseen incident takes place. You want someone to stand in and then bring that solution for you. So what do? You pay money to an insurer who says that if there is an incident, there's an accident, there's a loss, I will step in and then I would reinstate you into the state that you were in before. This is like layman's perspective. So in a nutshell, there is a risk or there's a loss that you foresee So let's use like a car, for example. So I bought a brand new car. I know that one day, somehow, some motor rider will come and cross me. So all I am saying...
Not bicycle.
or a bicycle. It can even be a human being.
Exactly.
It can even be a bed or a stone that could just fall off a track and then hit your windscreen. Okay, you don't plan for it. And I think when you were opening, you said, would you go and dig into your savings, for example? If you dig into that savings and you use that to go and repair that windscreen, that is a financial loss. And you would have to work to bring that back in. But what we are saying is that pay something little. And I assure you that when that loss occurs, I will step in and fix it for you so that you don't have to go and dip into your pocket. So that's like layman's understanding of what insurance means. Maybe Danny will add.
I think you have something to say.
Yes, so to pick it from the other angle as well, it's basically the transfer of risks.
Okay.
As you mentioned, in life we are all faced with several risks. For a business owner, you are faced with the risks of fire, flood, or even theft at your shop, or it could be your warehouse. So that particular risk that you are faced with, you would need a reputable insurance company to transfer that risk to. So you walk into any insurance company, a reputable insurance company in Ghana here, and then let them know the risks you are faced with, and then they come in to advise you, and then they would ask you to pay a certain amount, which we call the premium. So it's a small amount you pay to cover the big losses which you are faced with as a business owner. So that when these losses occur, then the insurance company comes in to compensate you for these losses. So to also touch on it from a different angle, so for our mothers and fathers who are watching us, traditionally it's like the susu that we usually do in our homes, where you come, you contribute small amount, another person contributes small amount, we put it in a pot, so that in the event one person suffers a loss, then we'll go into the pot to take money to compensate or to support the people, just like what we do in the funeral way. But when it comes to insurance, it's a legal thing, so it is written, so it's like a contract, so there's a legal backing when it comes to insurance. With the transfer of risks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I love the aspect of the system because that's very familiar to most of us. And when both of you are talking, you made mention of paying a very small amount, and at the end of the day, the company comes in big. I think we will get there because I know questions will start coming. That small amount, we will get there. But Danny, back to you. Why do we need insurance at all? You've explained to us it's risk. Yes, we understand. Why do we have to insure in the first place? Why do we need insurance?
Okay, thank you. So first of all, life happens. And when I say life happens, I mean any incident could occur. It could be an act of God. So let's say fire. So you're a business owner. You have goods stocked at your warehouse, or you're a small shop owner or provision supermarket. Fire can easily, come at you. You can easily have armed robbers breaking into the shop. So life happens, basically. So you need insurance because life happens. And secondly, insurance is there to give you some sort of peace of mind. That financial security or the safety net you need to ensure that should anything happen to your business, you have something to fall on. And one of the important aspects of insurance, aside it impacting individuals, I take it from the business perspective because it ensures business continuity. Because if you've invested so much money to buy goods or to purchase a vehicle or to build a house, and the insurance is asking you to pay just a small amount, which we term as the premium, to protect that huge investment you've made. For me, I think it's the best. It gives you that comfort, that peace of mind to make sure that whatever monies you've invested into a property, should life happens, you can have something, to fall on. So the business continuity is very important to me.
Okay, thank you. Amanda, is insurance is it not a luxury?
I wouldn't say it is a luxury at all because, like Danny said, life happens, Someone once told me that when death comes, right, it doesn't ask whether you are Bill Gates or you're Kojo Mensah, you will just go.
Okay.
And I think that nobody knows what is going to happen tomorrow. So I don't think that insurance is for the rich.
Okay.
Insurance is for every single person. Once you have an asset or something that you want to protect, there is always an insurance solution for you.
Okay.
And we also have come to that point where we realize that insurance is also affordable for all. I think people always look at it from just one perspective, that, you know, it's only the rich people because they're the ones who buy the luxury cars and you know, stuff like that. But everybody can be insured and everything can be insured. So insurance is for everyone.
Everybody can be insured and everything can be insured.
Yes, the footballers insure their legs. Do you know
Oh, really?
Yes.
I see. I see. Danny?
So yes,
Anything can be insured.
Yeah, so accidents can happen to anyone. So I wouldn't say insurance is for the rich or for the poor. In fact, the poor people are the ones who should even think about insurance, or the middle or the average Ghanaian, because for the rich, they have
financial buffer.
You know, they have money to, even without insurance, they'll be able to. So if the rich is even focusing on buying insurance because they need to give some confidence to their investors, how much more the average Ghanaian or the vulnerable person who, you know, you're operating a small shop in Kantamanto or at Accra Central, you should be concerned about protecting that small business. So I wouldn't say insurance is for the rich or for the poor. I'd say accidents can happen to everyone. And I always use this example, you know, about the traffic light. You know, when you get to the traffic light and it's red, whether you are using a Mercedes-Benz, a Lamborghini, you know, a Toyota Vet, or even a motorbike, you would still stop. So that is how accidents is. You know, once it happens, you can't say you are a rich person or you're a poor person. You still have to find money to cater for those losses. And we at Enterprise Insurance, you know, we give our customers that convenience and that peace of mind, so that we give them that trust that should anything happen, you know, you have a reputable insurance company to fall on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Danny. I think you keep on saying peace of mind, peace of mind. And I think that is something, that is a center. Let me say that's a center. Amanda, I want to come back to you. In earlier submission, you made mention of insure your house, insure a car. I don't have a car. I don't have a house.
Yeah.
Why do I need insurance for?
Okay.
As an individual who is not having a car, who is not having a house, who's not having any property. I'm actually renting, so.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for the question. So basically, for us at Enterprise Insurance, we call these things personal line products. So we think about your personal life. And we, for Enterprise Insurance, the beautiful thing is that we look at you from cradle to grave. So, you know, we are a group of companies. So we have Enterprise General, which is where we sit. We have life insurance. We have Acacia Health. We have Transitions. If you've heard of Transitions, we have Enterprise Properties. And then we also have our trustees company, which is the pensions. So basically, for us, we look at you from cradle to grave. That is the entire philosophy. Now, as an individual, what we are saying is that there is something that is precious to you that can be insured. It's either your life or an asset. Okay, so I'll look at it in those scenarios. So if you're looking at a life, that is the eventuality that you could be sick. And if you get sick, it means that you are incapacitated, you can't work anymore. There has to be something, like you said, a safety net that you can fall onto. God forbid you can die. You have children, you have dependents. If you were taking a life insurance policy, for example, you know that your dependents or your family members would have some financial buffer that can bring them back to wherever they were, because maybe you are the breadwinner, for instance. Now, when we come to life again, you also have health insurance. You can get sick. Today, we are grateful to government that we have the NHIS. Yeah. So, you know, you pay for NHIS, you can walk into the hospital and then just get your medication. And when you come into the general space, where is our playing field? Beyond having a car, beyond having a house, we also have what we call the personal accident. So imagine you've gone to an event at Koko and the Kwashe boys catch you in the corner there, and then they slit your finger or your arm or whatever, and you are bleeding. Because you have a personal accident insurance cover, You walk in, and then we take care of your medical expenses.
Wow.
And even if there's temporary permanent disability, probably now you can't use your hand to work again. There's an insurance cover for that. So you can't take a personal accident cover to protect yourself. When we come to the house, for most people, you would say that I'm renting my house, it's not my house, etc., etc. But you have an asset, you have a bed, you have
so should I insure the bed and the fridge?
Yes, it can be insured. So we have what we call, for enterprise insurance, we have what we call the home content insurance. And for as low as 80 cedis, you can insure your content value up to 10,000 Ghana cedis. So if you put your fridge, your bed, your ceiling fan, together, your laptop, etc., in that, your chamber and hall, for example, you could have it insured. Because the truth is that in living in somebody's rented apartment, when there is a fire or there's a loss, the landowner or the house owner is looking at his building.
Exactly.
Anything that is inside that building is your loss. And you see how people get so emotional when, their homes get burnt down and they're like, where do I start from? How do I, come back to get to life again, etc. As for the house owner, if his house is insured, the house is insured. In 5 days, you would put it back up, But then you is the one living in that apartment. You've lost your bed, you've lost your money, you've lost all these things, and these things can be insured. Even for motor, okay, somebody would say that, oh, well, I don't have a car, etc. Now we even have insurance solutions for trips. So when we get there, we'll talk about that.
Exactly. It gets very interesting.
Yes.
It gets very interesting.
So there's so many things.
There are so many things to look at. I think we've looked at the individual, the formal sector, the informal sector. I think, a little about the formal sector.
Yes.
Danny, what happens? Yes, I'm a government worker. I think she talked about it. But at the workplace, what happens if my company has not insured the facility I'm working and an incident happened? Is there a need where I, as an ordinary worker over there, do I have a way out of this situation?
To clarify your question, so what you mean is that if something should happen to the individual, as in an accident to the individual whilst working in the building as a company. So, the Workmen's Compensation Act mandates companies to, cover their employees against accidental injuries or diseases which are work-related, because you owe the employee the duty of care once they work for you. So you as an individual, you need to be able to ask your employers whether they have any insurance cover should anything happen to you whilst on the job, because it's very important.
Amanda, is it true?
Yeah.
So I can ask my employer that question?
Yes, you can. It's very important to ask that. So at Enterprise, we have our employers' liability policy where we protect, the employers against any, incident that could happen to their employees on the job. Any accidental injury, death, or disease that would happen to you whilst on the job. And the interesting thing about the Workman's compensation policy is that it covers you even when you move from the house coming to the work. Should any accident occur to you whilst on your way to the work, it covers you as well.
I would like you to stress that part again. Yes, I want to stress that part again. So as if I'm supposed to report to work at 8 a.m., that's a reporting time. And I set off around 6 a.m. to work. Anything that happens to me on the way from 6 a.m. till I get to work, that insurance policy cover?
Yes. The Workman's Compensation is supposed to compensate you for that, because you woke up with the work in your mind, you set off heading to work. Unless there's, a reason to, deny your claim by saying that you weren't really coming to work. But once you are coming to work, so the policy extends to cover to and from work. So once you close from work or you're heading home, whether you're in a commercial vehicle or you're in your own vehicle driving, once you are coming from work, you're entitled to benefit under the Workman's Compensation Policy.
Yeah, and in
addition
to that, so we also have what we call the group personal accident cover, which the company can also take that in addition. So let's think about a situation where you have a company where you have staff traveling very often, or you are doing a staff event or staff chill out, for example. you're going to have people in a bus for a given period of time. You can actually purchase a group personal accident for all your employees while you are on that trip, for example, or throughout the year. So if they have to commute, we have salespeople. Every time you're out in the streets, like me, every day looking for business. If something happens to me while I'm working, for example, the company is liable to compensate me for whatever loss or injury that may happen to me while on the job. So these are things that businesses can look out for. There are a host of other things. We can also look at fidelity guarantee, where the business owner is also interested in his losses. Sometimes you employ people and the unfortunate happens, they begin to embezzle funds or the pilfer here and there. You could also take that cover to also protect your interests as a business owner. So there's a lot of things that we don't talk about.
Exactly. There are lots of things to talk about on the matter of why need insurance. Yeah. And I think I have a last on this very topic. Okay. Danny, this is a situation. I take Trotro to the house often. And personally, assuming I've not done this personal life insurance cover, and the Trotro should get an accident. We know these motors, it's compulsory for them to have insurance cover on that vehicle. Will it cover me, the passenger, in the car? If it says, then how would I be able to claim such an incident? I would like to touch on that before we go to the other concept you need to break down, because that was the question coming. I picked Trotro, there's an accident, what do I do?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. In fact, the National Insurance Commission has digitized, anybody who can validate the validation of insurance.
Okay.
So for a passenger, before you even onboard any commercial vehicle, whether a ride-sharing vehicle or Trotro or a bus, you need to dial *920 *57# to confirm if the particular vehicle you are onboarding is insured.
Then please take it again. The code.
*920 *57# to check the validity of the insurance on any vehicle in Ghana here. So before you onboard it, you need to check that as a passenger. There's an advice. So once you onboard it and you check that this particular vehicle has a valid insurance, now the basic insurance cover in Ghana for motor is the third party, which is mandated by law. So every vehicle you see on the road has a minimum third party cover. The third party cover is in place to cover the risk exposures you just mentioned, which is the passenger liability. It's also part of the third party cover, aside the property damage, where the vehicle owner damages another person's property. Now there's an injury component in there to cover accidental death or bodily injury to passengers in the vehicle and even to third parties, like people in other vehicles as well. So as a passenger, should an incident occur, first of all, you have to ensure your safety. You have to prioritize your safety at that moment. So make sure you are taken to the hospital, document everything. So take your receipts. If you incur medical expenses, take all those receipts from the hospital and then get in touch with the insurance company of the vehicle you were in at the time of the insurance, and you'll be sorted out.
That's so amazing. So the code is *920 *57#.
Yes.
So just do this to confirm that the car you are buying is actually safe. I think it's very important, viewers. Always, sometimes when you go to Koko board and how they are struggling over cars because the time and the car is so limited. So there someone asks, how will I now have to dial this? Exactly. But away from that, that you were mentioning premium, you were mentioning claims. These are some of the concepts that most don't understand. Amanda, what's all about premium?
Okay. So premium basically is an amount of money that you're paying to instate the contract. So remember that we said that there's a contract between you, so the individual we would call the insured or the policy holder, depending on the context.
Okay.
And then we have the insurer. So in this case, will be enterprise insurance. And all we are saying is that I come to enterprise insurance and I say, I have an asset or I foresee a particular risk.
Okay.
So I want you to protect me or reinstate me when there is a loss. So enterprise assesses the assets and then the potential loss that you are mitigating, and then says that, okay, to do this, pay 10 Ghana cedis. So that if the value of your shoe or your car is 100,000 cedis, pay 10 cedis, that when there is a loss, I will give you that 100,000 Ghana cedis that you were saying. So that money that you pay to initiate that contract between yourself and the insurer is what we call the premium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I think it's getting very educative. Danny, you made mention of claim. If incidents happen, we should claim. What is claim? Do we just go and just take it? What is claim all about?
So in simple terms, claim is simply the process you go through to have your compensation paid to you. Yes. So when you walk into the insurance company and you're asked to complete a form, when you submit your repair estimate, it goes through a process. The risk engineers come and then assess the damage. So all those processes you go through, that is what we term as claim. So the process you go through to receive your final compensation, that is what we term as claim. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sometimes people say this process is very tedious. Is it really true, Amanda?
So I would say that it's not a tedious process, but sometimes we make it tedious because
we make it tedious.
Okay. And because when there is a loss, like Danny mentioned, you would have to provide certain documents. So, for instance, there's an accident, you've gone to the hospital. We are saying that ensure that you pick the hospital receipts because we have to authenticate that you really did have that accident. So, at the scene of the accident, if you can, take a photo of whatever loss has occurred. If you go into the hospital, bring your documentation. We will take an ID card to validate that we are not serving Kojo Mensa and not Ama Mensa, for example. So all these things are things that would ask the customer or the affected person to provide. And sometimes when these things don't come on time, it sort of delays the process. However, at Enterprise Insurance today, we are proud to say that we have what we call the Claim Express portal. So in the past, you would have, when there's a claim, can you imagine that you are hit with your arm and you are in the hospital and they are telling you that walk to Accra High Street to come and put in a claim. It's not customer-centric. And so today we have the Claim Express portal that allows you to sit in the convenience of your home to lodge a claim. So once anything happens, you just go onto your phone, you go onto the Claim Express portal, we'll give you the link, and then once you click on that link, you just put in your basic information, and you can even track the claim. So has it gotten to an officer? Has the officer seen it? You get SMS notifications every step of the way. So this helps you to know at what stage your claim is at. And when we are ready to make compensations for you, now we don't ask you to walk all the way to our office. We'll just tell you that, look, provide the account number or your Momo number and the funds are paid to you. In addition, today we have what we call the same-day claims. So for enterprise insurance, we have same-day claims now for motor insurance where you can claim up to 7,500 Ghana cedis. So immediately when you have an accident, we are saying that we have an office at airport. Just drive your car with all the damage. Let the tire be rolling. Just make sure the car gets to the location. Once it gets there, we have a team on site. They will assess the vehicle. If you have your repair estimate, you call your mechanic, let him give you the estimates for the cost of the damage. And there, as we say it in Tree, pay king kind, we pay you, and then you are gone. So these are things that we are doing.
These are the things that we do. You want to say something, Danny?
Yes, to add to what Amanda said, insurance companies exist to pay claims.
Pay claims, yeah.
They exist to pay claims.
Why we're in business.
That is why we are in business. And I believe if insurance companies are not paying claims, all the insurance companies would have, gone down. And
so, Danny, what happens after providing all the necessary documents? How long? What was the duration that need to go through? Or will it take 24 hours, 48 hours after I've provided all my documents?
Okay, so...
How long does it take?
Okay, so before I come to that, we have a regulator, which is the National Insurance Commission.
Yeah.
And they are there to ensure that legitimate claims are paid on time.
Okay.
The regulator, in its wisdom, has set out guidelines, claims guidelines, where at every stage you need to inform the customer.
Okay.
So when the customer submits all documents within 2 to 3 working days, or even within 24 hours, you need to acknowledge the documents and let the customer know that this claim has been processed.
Yeah.
Now you move for motor, let me use motor insurance as an example. So you've insured your vehicle for comprehensive and there's damage to the vehicle.
Okay.
There are documents that you are supposed to gather to file a successful claim. So some of these documents are, we need a copy of your driver's license to ensure that you're a valid driver. We need your repair estimate. Of course, we need to know the amount involved in the repairs. We would also need pictures to prove that, yes, indeed, the incident did occur. So at Enterprise, because we've created that convenience where you can easily go onto our portal, which is the Claims Express, to file your claim successfully. Once you have all these documents uploaded into the portal, at every stage you receive a notification. So once you upload it, you receive notification, instant notification.
Okay.
And for us to assess the damage to your vehicle, it takes about 2 to 3 working days for that assessment to be done. Once that assessment is completed, you will receive a notification that says that the risk assessment has been completed. Once that process is completed, we proceed to process the claim itself and then seek approval for your claim. That also takes about 2 to 3 working days. And this depends on the quantum, the amount of claim involved. Once this stage is also completed, you receive notification that your claim is currently pending on approval. Once your claim is approved, you receive your settlement letter.
Wow, that is so amazing. That's so amazing.
These processes have been digitized.
Yes.
Okay.
So no if the customer,
no paper.
Yes,
no paper.
The customer at the convenience of your home, you receive these notifications to help you track your claim.
Okay.
But at Enterprise Insurance, currently, we process all claims within 16 working days. And Amanda mentioned same-day claims. So same day is for minor claims, claims that we term as minor where the vehicle can still be driven or moved. So let's say an Okada destroys your side mirror or your fender damage or maybe your windscreen damage. Just walk into our airport branch office and have your claims processed that same day.
Not just airport, we also have an office in Kumasi. So if you're also in Kumasi, we have the same day claim office as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Amanda and Danny. I think we'll go for a short commercial break. Okay. When you come back, if you mention beneficiaries, we look at that. Then we go into the types of insurance policy that we have, and after we go to some of the misconceptions around insurance. So this has been a discussion. It's all about understanding insurance. Don't we just stay and stick with us. We'll be right back just after this break. Thank you for staying with us. It's all about a discussion around insurance. We want you to understand insurance so that you know the need or the reason why you should be or have an insurance policy for yourself, your assets, or any other thing as an individual or even an organization. But before I go back to my guest, we have a few comments here. This is from Ali Mitch. He said, congrats to Danny Anderson. This is from Kobe. He said, good morning, watching you live from Sunyani Fire Service Regional Clinic. Big ups to my boss. This is from Jewel Dodu. Oh, wow, this is very insightful. So I think the conversation is getting very interesting. And I think, Danny, before the break, we were talking about claims, and I said when you come back, we're going to look at beneficiaries, because we are mentioning this often. So Amanda, what is all about beneficiaries?
Okay. So when we talk about beneficiaries, we have to put it in context. So depending on the type of insurance, so like when I mentioned, we're talking about the industry. So when we look at, let's say, life insurance or pensions, for example, you have beneficiaries because you, who is the main life, you're covering yourself against the unforeseen. So let's say death. If you die, we are saying that in the event where you pass on, you would have children, a spouse, or other dependents, and those people will be the beneficiaries of whatever insurance, investment that you have made.
Okay.
So we look at it in that side. When you come to general insurance, we also have what we call the beneficiary here would either be the insured,
okay,
or we call the policyholder, depending on the type of policy that you are buying.
Okay.
So if we take motor insurance, for example, the insured is still the beneficiary. So if I have an accident today and then I walk in and I make a claim, I am the one who is going to be compensated because I am the vehicle owner. Sorry. So because I am the vehicle owner, I'm the one who will be compensated for the loss. So I'm the beneficiary. When you come to the workman's compensation, like Danny mentioned earlier on, the policyholder would be the business or the company. And then the beneficiaries in there or the insured in there will be the employees. You get it? So depending on the type of policy you are on, whether it's a life policy, whether it's a pensions policy, whether it's health, depending on all those sectors, either the person who is purchasing the policy can be the beneficiary, or there may be dependents who may be the beneficiaries of the
Okay, thank you so much. Danny, I would like you to go into the types of insurance we have, but I would like to start with the formal sector. What type of insurance policies are available for the formal sector? Okay. And Amanda will take us to the SMEs. I think the individual, we've actually touched on some of them.
Yes.
Okay, so to finalize the beneficiaries that she mentioned, basically it's those who are entitled to the benefit of the policy. That's the bottom line. So now I'm coming to what you said, the informal sector. The informal sector plays a very key role in our economy. Currently, they contribute over 70% of businesses within the country, and they are the largest employers when it comes to the Ghanaian economy. So it's a market where enterprise insurance, we've channeled all our energy into that sector to make sure that we are offering them solutions, tailor-made solutions, to their business. So let's say if you have a shop at Kantamanto, so basically to be classified as an informal person or a business, the size of your company or your business matters. So you should be below, let's say you should employ below 10, your capital should be at a certain amount, and you are not strictly, regulated, you are regulated to a certain level. There's no really formal, way of doing things. So example, the masons, the carpenters, the seamstress, the provision shop owner, the kiosk owner. So those are the people we classify as informal. So we have products. Amanda would touch on some of the products we have within the informal sector where we are covering. So let's say shop owner, you have provisions, diapers, and all of that worth 3,000 cedis. With as low as 50 cedis, you get insurance cover to protect the risks of fire and burglary. Because if a fire incident occurs right now, you need to have something that you fall on as a shop owner. And in the event of theft, robbers break in or people break into your shop to take some of your goods, Enterprise Insurance, we have products that solves such problems for you as an informal, person. So I would give example with the recent Kantamanto fires that happened. Thankfully, most of them had insurance with Enterprise Insurance. So Enterprise Insurance, we paid over 8 million cedis worth of claims just to Kantamanto victims. So this, I believe, people in the informal sector need to look at protecting their small shops. Thank you.
Okay, so Amanda, back to you. For the SMEs, he has mentioned some of them. So what are some of the insurance available for such people?
Okay.
Or the types of insurance they could easily fall onto?
Okay. So in the SME space, first of all, I would say that because insurance penetration is quite low, I think currently, according to IFRS 17, it's 0.63%. That's even less than 1% of our Ghanaian population that is insured. And for SMEs, we realize that SMEs are contributing almost 80% of the employed populace. So majority of the businesses in Ghana are actually SMEs. And so for us, what we seek to do is to look at various things. So like Danny mentioned, most of these SMEs are operating under service industry, manufacturing. You have the small scale artisans, and then you have the micro, where the informal sector sits. So basically, these are the people that we are looking at.
Okay.
Now, he mentioned that we have unregulated businesses. So we define our SMEs as, so we look at the informal, which is the micro, and these are individuals and they are unregistered businesses. So your Koko seller, for example, is running Memuna, hot cocoa, but she's not regulated, so she's unregistered.
Okay.
Then you have businesses between 2 to 30 employees that are regulated. So you think of your average supermarket in your neighborhood. You're looking at your over-the-counter pharmacies, for example. All these people are business owners and they are not insured. So what are the solutions that we have for them? So first thing, we have the basic, which is fire insurance. So we have fire and burglary, where we are protecting your stock and then the container, as we'll call it, or your kiosk. And the revolution about this is that previously insurance companies were not going to insure, containers, as we'll call it, or kiosk. But today what we are saying is that once you have a kiosk or a container which has lock and key, it can be insured.
Oh, okay.
So we are insuring this. We are insuring your stock in trade. So for what we've noticed, for example, you can have somebody in Makola who has a shop but has a warehouse. So what you are seeing in front of you is not a real asset. There are assets in other warehouses. So we are able to insure your shop and stock in trade and your warehouses as well. So that will protect you against fire and burglary. We also have covers for motor, because we believe that for most of these SMEs, they have fleets, they have cars, they do distribution, they have motorcycles that are doing delivery. Right now, everybody in Ghana does delivery service.
Exactly.
So we are covering all these things. We have goods in transit insurance that covers your goods from your warehouse to the delivery point.
Okay.
So you can take a cover for that.
Okay.
There are a host of other things. I think we have the business interruption. You can even take the workman's compensation. So depending on your business. So usually when you reach out to us, we'll do an assessment of your business, and then we'll see how we put you together. Today for enterprise insurance, we have what we call the Ahuto P product. As the name, just like Danny said, peace of mind.
Yeah.
So we have Ahuto P, and we call it Ahuto P is for everyone. So once you sign on to the Ahuto P product, you are able to protect your business We have other ones that will be coming on board, like I mentioned.
Yes, exactly. We'll get into that, Amanda. I have a few messages here. This from Kwame Deborah from Dakuman, and he's saying that, hello, Koko Digest, great discussion. I think that insurance can feel like paying for something you hope you never use, and that makes some of us skeptical. Then is it true?
Well, it depends on how you look at insurance. As I mentioned, life happens. So the name again?
I'm Kwame Deborah from Dakuman.
Yeah, so Kwame Deborah, you know, in life you are faced with so many risks. Even when you move out of your house, a car can easily, knock you. I'm not saying that should happen, but flood where you stay. You've rented a small apartment. You have your TV, your fridge, your bed in there. If flood should, happen within Accra, you suffer a loss, and you need something should be able to fall on, so that the small or little money you have in your pocket, you don't go into your pocket to spend money to buy a new bed, fridge, air condition, TV, and all of that. What we are saying is that pay small amount, which we term as premium, monthly, annually, quarterly, depending on how you want to. We are very flexible at Enterprise Insurance. So we are saying pay just a little amount so that we protect your assets at your home once you are away. Because I believe once you move from the house, you lock your door. And why do you lock your door? Because you know that thieves can break in. So even though, yes, you might think it's painful, but the amount you'll be paying to us is not the same amount we'll pay back to you when there's a loss.
There's this issue.
To just add to what he said before you ask your question. So you remember Danny's analogy about the Susu box. The truth is that we are all contributing into a pool. And today may be my day, and it may not be your day today. So all we're saying is that we are all contributing into that pool for that unfortunate incident. And that could be you or that could be me. But because we are all contributing little drops into that pool, imagine that, let's use the health insurance, that's the basic one. There are some people who have never been ill the whole year. They don't even go to the hospital. They just drink water and they are fine. There are people that are consistently ill. If we are all not contributing into the national health insurance pool, somebody will not be able to get dialysis care, for example. Somebody will not be able to go to the hospital and get medication for malaria. This is why we are all doing this together. So you may be thinking that, well, I'm not the one going to get hurt, nothing's going to happen to me, but somebody has an accident every single day. If we will give you the statistics for accidents in Ghana, you will be shocked. So we are contributing into a pool so that when it is somebody's unfortunate incident, we can pick that money and then bring that person back into the state they were before. It's the same way that person is also contributing into your pool. One day, God forbid, but your time might come. And then that is when you would have that peace of mind.
I think, Amanda, before I go to that question I wanted to ask, I want to still ask, based on what you said, what happens after years of contributing to this insurance policy? And it didn't really happen to me. Is the insurance company going to give me the money? Is there a way that I can get that money? Or there is something else for me? Because that's a question people are asking.
So depending on the type of insurance you're on, but for general insurance, what we usually have, we have something we call a no-claim discount. It's just to encourage customers that, put in mitigating measures in place so that, the unforeseen never happens. So if you are someone like that, for motor insurance, for example, after your first renewal, you can get what we call a no-claim discount. So it brings down your premium, so you're paying a little less.
Does it mean if initially I was paying a premium of 100 cedis with a no-claim discount,
at your next renewal, when the no-claim discount is applied, it might come down to, let's say, 90 cedis. And then next year, the following year, if you don't have any accident again, or you don't make any claim, then we'll step it down a bit. So it's a sort of way of making it affordable for you for the long service that you are staying with us. When you come to the life insurance space, we also have things we call cashback. So after a period of time, when you've contributed for a given period, you can come and then, put in a cashback, and then the insurance company will pay you something back for not dying, for example.
I think take that one again. Take that one again, Amanda.
So I'm just saying that it depends on the type of insurance
Okay,
product
let's look at
you
the
are
life.
on. Okay, so what I'm saying is that if it's a life insurance policy that you are on, we have something we call a cashback.
Okay.
So after a period of time, so they have maybe you are on a policy for 10 years, 15 years. At a given period of time, you've contributed and nothing has happened. The insurance company says, let's give you something back in return for all your years of contribution. Those things are there. When you come into pensions also, we have various components inside the pensions product that you can also, after a given period of years, you can also go and then dip into the savings that have accumulated over a period of time. So really, it depends on the type of policy you are on. For enterprise insurance, for fire example, we have, the long-term agreements, discounts. So that can also be applied.
So, Danny, what does it mean, that long-term agreement discount? People are asking the question, I've insured for fire.
What do I get
Nothing
in return?
happens.
Yes.
What do I get in return?
Okay, so to put the no-claim discount into context.
Yes.
No-claim discounts are earned by comprehensive policyholders.
Yes.
Where you go through the first year of insurance without any claim. You earn the no-claim bonus or discount. You're entitled to that discount. Now, the long-term agreement discounts, basically what we are saying is that you've agreed to insure your property with us for the next 5 years. So you're entitled to a 10% discount once you agree with us. And the agreement is usually done on paper.
Okay.
So you have a written agreement, you say you want to insure with us for the next 5 years. Then you earn that 10% no-claim discount. Now, you see, insurance, is unfortunately, it's not a lottery where you put in stakes to ensure that you win.
You win, yeah.
It's a pool that we are all contributing to.
Okay.
Just to make sure that the few that suffers losses, we take monies from that pool to support them. So you don't insure to benefit. One of our principle, which is called the indemnity principle.
Yeah.
Insurance is making sure that whatever monies you had in your pocket prior to a loss, you don't lose it. Whatever monies you had in your pocket prior to a loss, you don't lose it. Insurance companies comes in to compensate you for these losses.
Thank you so much, Danny. Amanda, let me come back to you.
Okay.
We've talked about fire, we've talked about theft, we've talked about accident. Do you have insurance policy for flood?
Yes.
Do we have?
Yes. So when we talk about flood, like Danny said, so depending on where you live, it's not it's
not just any other flood.
So, I'm choosing my words carefully. Okay. But as a result of force majeure, so there's a rainstorm, and because of that rainstorm, the Accra was flooded, and then your community or your home was affected. Because your house or your business is insured, so the fire insurance actually doesn't just cover, we call it fire and allied perils. So aside the fire, we are covering other things that could cause a damage to your property. So flood is included. However, if you're in a flood-prone area, assuming that you now are going to build your house on top of water, and you are telling us that we should cover for that one, we would look at it.
You look at it again.
Look at it and see how we can put in mitigation measures. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I have some few messages. Let me read, then we'll move on. It's a good morning, Koko. This conversation shows us that understanding your policy before you understanding your policy is very important before you actually enroll on it. I am William, and this says, hi Clement, this is a great topic. I have never had insurance broken down so clearly before this way, and this is very helpful. This Eastwood from Ablekuma. Hello Clement, please ask your guest why insurance is often so difficult to understand for the average person, and is that just the nature of the product, or can the industry do better? Can they do better?
Yeah.
Pick it up.
So, over the years, people have that misconception that insurance don't pay claims. Claims process are very difficult and all of that. But currently in the industry, insurance industry, if you look at other insurance companies and at enterprise as well, we've made claims very convenient for people to file, because it's usually the claims aspect that triggers all these sentiments within the public space. And the regulator is also there. I always want to use the regulator, because without the regulator, insurance companies will be doing what they
exactly.
So we are in business to pay, claims as well. So I would advise whoever sent the message.
This is from David Mesa from Odoko.
Yeah, so I'd advise David that yes, insurance companies exist to pay claims. Understand the policy which you are buying, identify the risks, and make sure you are paying, the right amount for that particular risk. And you'll be sorted out.
Okay. So to add on insurance education, I think that the NIC is doing a lot of work, especially in 2025. One of their strategies is to drive inclusive insurance. Yeah. And we are doing a lot of work with global partners across Ghana and the world as well. We also have a lot of collaboration happening. So you have fintechs that are collaborating with insurance companies to provide insurance solutions in the agri sector, for example, in the informal sector as well. We have MTN that is also doing some fantastic work with IO. We have Bima Health. You have so many of these products that are coming in, and it's just because we've realized that insurance penetration and literacy is very low in Ghana. And so this is part of the things behind our initiative at Enterprise Insurance for our informal SME sector, where we are trying to break down insurance literacy. And because of that, we are doing a lot of work with associations like the GUTA, with the mobile money associations. We are signing on agents to sell insurance. So in your community, you could be buying insurance. You don't have to come all the way into town. And we are using all these things with literacy groups, etc., with women-led groups, to be able to get people to understand insurance. So to the writer's question, we are doing a lot of work now to make sure that people can understand insurance generally and understand the policies that they are on. And I also want to throw a challenge to our audience that when you engage an agent or a broker or an insurer, please ask all the questions that you need to ask about the policy that you are purchasing or you are signing on to, so that, like Danny said, it's not when there's a claim and then you say that we have brought our book out, you start fighting us. But ask all the questions, seek to understand the policy that you are on. And also, please don't just buy a policy and go to sleep. Every now and then, check in on your policy to be sure at what stage your policy is at. If maybe there's some cash back in there, you can enjoy it. Or if you also need to upgrade your policy, I think that a lot of people don't do that. So someone buys a fire policy for 5 years, and the building has been insured for 30,000 for 5 years. But we know that properties appreciate in value, and buildings and land appreciate. So you won't be sitting there thinking that, my business is insured, and you fixed it at 30,000 for about 10 years. 10 years, God forbid, when there is a loss, we will tell you that, well, you insured it for 30,000, but now the value is probably 10, 20 times that price. So please make sure that every year when you are renewing your policy, engage your broker, engage your agent, engage your insurer, understand the type of policy you're on, and make amendments to the policy to reflect the current times that you're in.
Thank you so much, Amanda. I think I'll come back to Danny. I think, viewers, this is the main reason why I realize that education insurance is a key problem. That is why Clock TV Business Update segment has taken it upon itself to educate its viewers. We want you to understand what insurance is all about. We wanted to break it down to the simplest term. That is why this morning on your screen, we are discussing insurance. Danny has been mentioning about the regulator, and yes, we are going to bring the regulator also on board for discussion on Business Update segment. So you can trust Clock TV for all education insurance moving forward. That's what I just wanted to add. Danny, want to say something?
Oh, so I wanted to add to what she said. About the whole, education aspect, So for us at Enterprise, we are running series of education online, which we've named the Advantage Conversations on all our social media channels. X, YouTube, TikTok, where we are breaking insurance down to the layman to understand. So that is what we are also doing as a company at Enterprise to increase the insurance penetration rate in Ghana, aside the micro products that have been launched, which sits under Amanda. That's what I wanted to add.
Okay, thank you so much. I think Amanda has already answered my next question. That is what one should consider before taking any insurance policy. But I will still come back to you, Danny. Maybe you have something to say on that. What should one consider before taking an insurance policy?
Okay, in fact, it's a very important question to ask, because you need to be able to identify risks. You know, if you as an individual, you're unable to identify the risks, look for a reputable insurance company. So one of the key things you are looking at is a licensed, regulated insurance company. And you can trust Enterprise to do that job for you. Because one of our free services we offer is professional advice. We come to you, we conduct an assessment, we identify the risks that you are faced with, and based on that, we tailor a proposal to you that, okay, we've identified the risks of fire, the risks of your goods getting stolen by your employees, the risks of your vehicle transporting the goods being involved in an accident, the risks of your employees coming to work getting involved in an accident. All these risks, once we come to you as Enterprise, we break it down and explain it to you. So that is the professional touch, which we offer for free, no charge. The other thing you should look out for when you want to purchase insurance is to make sure that you are insuring your property adequately, which is a sum insured, what we term as sum insured, the value you place on any property you want to insure. So, for instance, you've built a property 10 years ago, which you built it for, let's say, 100,000 cedis. You would agree with me that material prices, cement prices have gone up, iron rods, all those building material prices have gone up. So you can't still keep your property value at 100,000 because should fire happen, or should flood, or should any impact, external force damage your building, I don't think 100,000 would help you rebuild it. So you need to also consider the sum insured, which is very important. And also look out for the coverages or exclusions within the policies. Ask all the questions, as Amanda said. Ask all the questions when you are talking to your insurance company or insurer. Ask all the questions. So, what is covered? What is not covered? When something happens, what do I stand to gain? What do I stand to lose? Ask all the relevant questions. That's also another important question. In case you're unable to reach the insurance companies directly, we have partners within the insurance business. We have professional brokers. We have agents, licensed agents by the National Insurance Commission that you can speak to. They can also offer you, to a certain extent, level of advice. For the brokers, they are professionals, so they would give you the professional advice and then advise you on which insurance company to do it. So one thing about Enterprise is that we are very broker friendly. We are a broker friendly insurance company. Where we give 100% support to our brokers. So these are some of the things, just to name a few. These are some of the things you look out for when you want to purchase an insurance policy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Want to say something?
Yeah, so I was going to say that also affordability, especially for my sector, affordability is very key. And so you want to buy a policy that you can also pay it in installments, or pay it daily, or pay it weekly. And at Enterprise with Ahutopi, you get that opportunity. And also accessibility is also important. How accessible is your insurer to you? You don't have to walk from Kaswa to get to Accra before you can get insured. So check out if your insurer has digital solutions that can give you quick access. And thankfully, again, we have the Enterprise Advantage app. And so you can go onto our app, you can download it on Play Store, App Store, or you can go onto the web and you can do your insurance solution seamlessly. And now we are doing transact and win. So when you go online and you purchase a policy from us, you're sure to get some airtime rewards. So you should go on to our Advantage app.
Okay, that's amazing. Before we go, your last one, just a few seconds.
Okay, so thank you so much for the opportunity, and we'll say that insurance is for everyone. So please get a Hoto P so you can have peace of mind.
Okay, yes, Danny. Before our last words,
okay,
as an award winner, young professionals, what will you tell the young ones watching you?
Okay, so the advice I would want to give to young professionals or people who have the potential, to go into insurance is that insurance is not boring. Insurance is dynamic. You enjoy solving problems for people. So that is the passion that drives me. My dedication and commitment to insurance is because I enjoy solving people's problems, individuals and then business owners. So people I meet every day. Insurance gives me the opportunity to even meet certain people which in my normal daily life I wouldn't meet them, to offer these solutions to them. So young professional, take up insurance, get interested in it, but first you need to have passion to solve problems, because without that passion you might see insurance as boring, but it's very dynamic and the risks are different. So every day you get to see different risks. So you would enjoy working, within the insurance space. So I would urge all young professionals to take up insurance, push insurance up to the boundaries, and then we'll contribute to the growth of insurance industry.
Okay, thank you so much. Then I have a few messages here from Timothy. Can I sign up as agent? Amanda, can he?
Yes.
Okay. And this is from Ali Mate. I have a shop and I want to insure at Cantamanto. Can you give us your contact?
Okay, so our contacts, we have, just a minute, oh dear Lord, 02... Where's your
official contact?
Okay, yeah. So we have our contacts. So it's 024-798-4909, 024-798-4909. So you can reach us on WhatsApp or call. And then if you want to be an agent or insure your shop or your business, you can reach out to us. Thank you
so much, Amanda and Danny, for we have had a very wonderful discussion. It has been very educating, very transformative, and I know you've come to understand insurance for yourself as an individual, why you need an insurance policy as an SME, informal sector, or mother seller in the market and the cantonment. I hope you now understand why you need insurance policy. You've also must understand that before you sign on to any insurance policy, get to understand that very policy very well. And there was one key thing that he said: get to know all the in and out of the policy. In and out is very, very important. And this is what Business Update segment today is all about. And as we said, we bring you on more education on insurance moving forward, because we want you to understand, so you continue to protect your life. The misconception, they've dealt with it, that indeed they pay claims and also pay it on time. This has been a discussion, and this is how we wrap up the Koko Digest Morning Show today. And I have been your host, Clement Yabankwe. Do enjoy the rest of your day.